stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
We are live and ready to
Hey guys, so listen, just so you're clear, in case you were wondering, we do not have our shit together. I just want to make this abundantly clear. Number one, we forgot to book the studio. I'm sorry to Tyus. That was our fault to doing so.
our bad.
The last two episodes, you guys probably couldn't see this, but we had 14 girls in the studio and we only had room for 8. And so we had girls sitting on the beanbag. This week, because we started the episode late and because we forgot to book it, we have 2. And so this is going to be the first time. Now, if you guys remember, the second episode we ever did, for those of you who've been watching the show, was 2 former Miss Nevadas. It was Tiana Jacqueline, and it was I can't remember who. It's Stephanie Cook, and then it was Jamie Lynn. That was the first time Jamie Lynn came on the show. And to be honest with you, it was one of the best shows we ever did. So we're excited because we have 2 guests from last week. You guys probably remember Stephanie Fry. Stephanie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Stephanie's back here again, and for the first time, Rolo didn't think I was serious.
I did not know that
Rolo
this was a possibility.
Rolo thought I was joking when I told him that Puma Swede is actually on the show today. And it gets even crazier than that. Puma, which book did you enjoy reading?
The Rational Man.
So Puma Swede read this is Truth is Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes.
So we're going to have an amazing show. The other thing is, I got to be honest with you. So last episode, so 2 weeks ago, we had amazing videos that I wanted to react to, and we got to none of them. And the reason why was because I forgot Lorraine and Jamie were really, I mean, that was one of the best shows we've ever done. They were really going at it, and I kind of want to have just the 2 of them back at some point because that was a really good episode.
Lorraine was really good.
Yeah, a lot of you guys were saying that you really enjoyed that episode. So we're probably going to do something like that. So today we're going to get through a lot of videos, and we're going to have Puma give us some dating advice for men in 2026. We're excited.
I'm the worst.
How do we land a Puma? Puma, how do we land a Puma?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Was that a serious
Yeah,
question?
yeah, serious question. How do we land a Puma, Puma?
Well, read the Rational Mail.
Okay, there you go. Just read the Rational Mail.
Yeah, but it actually
Plug.
got some good advice in it. Like, men today need to man up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, you told me a story before we went live about, like, you were saying you were giving it to some guys that you knew in the industry.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys reading in it, and I got so interested because I heard them discuss it. So I read it. I had a blog on a strip club site in Sweden, and I recommended women. I'm like, go fucking read this book. Like, you need it. Like, stop thinking so fucking highly about yourself. Like, your prime is past. Like, you catch it, or like it's too late.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it was referred to you by some of the other guys, and then you read it. And
I
then
heard the guys talking about it, like a lot of my friends. So I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? So I'm like, I'm gonna pick it up and read. I read a lot, so it was really, really had.
I really wish I knew who those dudes were.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, oh, that's funny. That's kind of like the same story that I had with Robert Kiyosaki, because Robert Kiyosaki was he won't care if I say this now, but he was going through his divorce with Kim Kiyosaki at the time, and it was George Gammon, it was Ken McElroy, and it was Jason Hartman who recommended my book. They were on the golf course, and he picked it up, and he just immediately called me up and says, "I need to talk to you."
Yeah, you know what? I think we don't talk about this enough. So one of the issues that I get from the pushback from other people, because I do try to be very scientific, and I don't have a book. Like, so one of the things is, because Rolo has a book, there's a center of gravity, like a center of mass to attack. Right? If you have an ambiguous belief system, or if you're like one of these content creators, like a Therapy Jeff is a great example. He has no solutions for anything, but because he doesn't have any solutions for anything, it's like there's no center of gravity to attack. Right? Destiny doesn't have a book, like stuff like that. And so what happens is you get held to account by things that were from essays that were written and compiled into a book 13 years ago, and some of those essays were 20 years old. Right? Am I right?
Yeah. And so the way that the book kind of played out, gosh, I haven't told the story in a while. I was a moderator on the SoSwap forums back in the when Venusian Arts was going on.
When I was managing a strip club 25 years ago.
And yeah, there was this little known guy named Mystery back then who was doing Alt Fast Seduction and Venusian Arts, and then there was SoSwap, which was the forum that I was on.
Yeah,
and really all I did was I was just a student of human behavior at that time, because people kept saying, "Oh well, Rollo, you haven't been in the game in a long time." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "No, well, you guys don't understand what I did for a living for, up until I started doing this in 2017, 2018, right? I was in wine and spirits, and I was in casino marketing and gaming. I did.
Are you trying to say that you were a whore?
I was.
Are you trying to call people out?
Well, it's funny. It's like I
used to be a whore before I was married 29 years ago.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, what I was gonna say is that, like, so I worked in wine and spirits, and was responsible for a lot of promos, on premise, off premise stuff, and I couldn't drink. I was always had to be straight when I was there, and so I'm just sitting there kind of taking mental notes, and it's kind of locking in with what I was going through when I was at UNR and studying psychology, and I saw a lot of it reflected in what Mystery and the rest of those guys were talking about back in the day, and we started having those conversations on the user forums. They called them user forums back then. They weren't even like, it wasn't Reddit. It was just a forum. And then it became the blog years, and then became the social media years, and now we're in the YouTube / podcasting years. And really all the book was compiled from probably 12 years of conversations with guys on the forum, which is back and forth. It was just technically it was a very collaborative effort.
I think of the book like dynamite. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think of the book like a scalpel. Yeah. I think of the book like at the time there was no discussion. This is one of the things that I think is like the most petty and disrespectful part of this whole situation, is when guys like Destiny are disrespectful, not recognizing that this whole venue, this whole avenue with which to have these discussions was started in part by that book. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It really is like pickup artists making fun of Mystery, not recognizing he made up that word, right? It's that kind of situation where it's like, what I'm saying? Guys who run the zone defense in the NFL thinking that Tom Landry is too old. No, he invented that. And so that's one of the situations where this whole avenue of discussion started. And now, for sure, I mean, if you want to look at what it's morphed into, I don't think HS Tiki Taki is representative of my values or him.
Sure, he's never read the book.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
call me crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. so that's one of the issues. And then also most of the people who debate you've never read the book either. Yeah. And I will tell you, is it the same thing as The Evolution of Desire by David Buss? No, but it is a book that gets you out of your head and helps you understand shit like there is no such thing as a soulmate. Long distance relationships aren't fucking real, like things like that that you need to understand. And if again, this is the difference. Like, I'm more of a scalpel, and like Myron is more of a piece of dynamite. Myron is there because you keep getting cheated on by your girlfriend, and you don't listen and you don't learn, and you need somebody to kind of smack you around. I'm there for the highly intellectual the Indian cardiologist who looks at things from a hyper rational standpoint and needs peer-reviewed data in order to understand how to move forward. That's a very different tool. We're all just different tools in a tool set. And what happens is, because I say things different from the way that either Chris Williamson says them or the way Myron Gaines says them, then therefore we're at odds with each other and we hate. No. We all serve different purposes. There's a video that I actually wanted to show you, and I forgot it. I should have got it. Therapy Jeff going after Scott Galloway. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, if Rollo was watching this video of Therapy Jeff is the really, really, really annoying guy from Portland. He's a therapist, and he kind of has like suffering succotash tonality in his voice.
Is he the guy that goes up to the video like, and
yeah. No. That's Dr. Max Butterfield.
Okay.
That's Dr. Max Butterfield.
Okay.
I like Max. The thing is with Therapy Jeff is that, like, he's obviously, and I'm not trying to make fun of him, honestly. He presents as a homosexual man, but he's not. He's actually heterosexual. And again, I'm not trying to make fun of him for that. There's nothing wrong with presenting as a gay man if you're straight. But in his situation, he does present that way, and then he attacks people basically where he's come to the conclusion already, and then doesn't have any. He starts from the woke liberal conclusion and then works backwards with his mathematics. So anyway, he's attacking Scott Galloway. And I just remember watching this video, being like, I know that you go after Scott Galloway, but in this video, you would have taken Scott Galloway's side. Maybe. Because he's not leftist enough for the leftist in his camp. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, But the reason why I go after Scott Galloway is because he keeps reiterating these same like bullshit stats that he pulls out of his ass. Dude, I go into your perplexity and I go, is this true? And it's like every last one of them is just like, this is like, it's either very overly simplified or it's just simply like, well, I don't know where it's coming from.
I don't have a problem. What I'm saying is I don't think Scott Galloway or Chris Williamson are the problem. I think the problem is Chris Q. Perry in Therapy Jeff. I think the problem is Call Her Daddy. Like I think that actually Call Her Daddy is becoming the solution because of some of the crazy things that they're exposing. Anyway, Stephanie, explain dating to us. Go.
What's dating like for you?
Yeah, what's dating like for you?
Man, it's non-existent.
Why is it non-existent?
Because I just choose school and work and my daughter. That's it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm just really dialed in. I just feel like anything else is just a distraction.
But dudes are still throwing it at you.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Okay, so where do most guys throw it at you? You're this pretty Asian girl and you're sitting here in Las Vegas. Where are dudes throwing it at you mostly?
Whether it's on the strip or my Instagrams or my DMs, it's wherever they can get me at the moment. Mm-hmm.
Puma, what's it like dating for you being an international superstar?
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Spicy star.
Struck my ego. I love it. Well, I spent a lot of time online and I don't know if you're sure that, if I can mention it, but like sexting and video calls and stuff. I mean, they must know, but like I'm very nice.
Are you doing mostly OF or SP?
Both.
Okay.
But it's like I love interacting with people.
Yes.
But after like 20 minutes of chatting, they're like, I think we should meet. But I'm like, dude, I talk like this to everybody.
Yeah.
But they're like, I want to come play pickleball with you.
Okay.
And I'm like, no.
Okay. I'm going to ask you something, Pooh, because you're one of the people that I have actually, because we never had this conversation before. So Nicolette Shea is one of my good friends. And I don't believe that Nicolette ended up in that career field on accident. I think that this is what she was going to end up doing. Same thing with, oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now. Asa Akira. I don't think Asa Akira was extorted or accidentally fell into this line of work. I think this is what she wanted to do. Do you feel like this is where you ended up is exactly what you wanted to do?
Yeah, but I realized it later.
Okay.
And everybody I know in Sweden, like I was the most awkward young person or whatever.
Well, you're 6'3" or 6'4"?
5'10".
5'10", okay.
And she's wearing super heels today too.
No, but I was at the stable. I was a nerd. I had sex the first time I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And people were making fun of me. And then all of a sudden, like the Puma evolved and I was just like, fucking men are to be used and fucked and thrown away. And but it was a realization. And I just couldn't fucking stop. And then when I realized, I can make money out of this. Like if I knew what I knew, like I started when I was 27. If I knew what I knew then, I would have started the day I was 18. I would have booked a one-way ticket to LA and I would have started fucking.
Okay.
Right then.
All right. So here's the thing. The reason why I bring this up is obviously there's a lot of guys in this space who question the morality of whether or not there should be like online virtual sex work or whatever. We even had girls come here and do this. And this is, and I'm not actually here to debate that point. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the first time I had Jamie Lynn on, one of the things that she told me that she believed, and she later does not believe anymore, is she thought that 100% of the girls who got into sex work did it only because they were extorted or because something went wrong in their life. And I was like, have you met Nara Ford? Have you met Nicolette Shea? Like, I don't believe for 1 second, like what I'm saying is, again, Puma, you do understand it might be difficult to marry you.
Yeah.
Okay. So just so we're clear.
I would not marry me.
Yeah. Just so we're clear. She's not here saying I did corn for however many years. And then I'm, you should come here and marry me. She's not saying that. But she is saying she understands that it might be difficult. I had Savannah Staggs on here before too, and she's a real estate agent and she also does brazzers. And I said, hey, you do understand that it might be difficult to date you. She goes, oh yeah, I'm difficult to date. The issue I think with Rollo and I that we have is not with women who do that line of work and completely understand what they're doing and own it. The problem that we have is when women do that and then they're like, where's my man? I don't understand. Or women who sit there and wait until they're 35 years old to get married after getting 2 graduate degrees. And then they're angry because the men they wanted are dating 23-year-olds.
Okay.
That's the problem.
I want to ask you, it's like, because guys are both women and guys, they get into a relationship. And after a while, they're like, so how many did you fuck before me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, everybody has to fucking pass. Why the fuck do you ask that? If you don't want, okay, my past is online, but why the fuck does it matter?
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up.
I have one more that I want to ask.
Go ahead, please.
Because you talk about marriage. why the fuck would you get married? I'm married for a green card so I could be American.
Yes.
And I think it's like, I can't be sued for that anymore. No, but it's like, because you talk about the whole thing about your books and stuff. I think marriage is that, where did it come from? I think it's all made up that like, we're going to have monogamy and it's just you and me and forever and you can't look at another woman. It's bullshit. Like, why would you like do it?
So these are, let's tackle the first question.
Good question.
Let's say these are two very good
I
questions.
knew this is going to be a good show.
Let's tackle let's tackle the first question here. The reality of the situation is, you obviously, you know, Kieran, he's a friend of mine also.
Are you talking about Kieran?
Yeah, of course.
That I was engaged to?
Yeah, I know you were engaged to him. All right. So Kieran, I don't know if you recently, he did a story where I forget, it was an article or an interview where he said that because he'd been with so many women that he did have some trouble in his relationship. Do you remember this? It was something that just came out recently, where basically it was like him performing sexually with his wife. There were some challenges because he's just been with so many women. There's tons of data out there that shows that the more partners you have before you get into a committed relationship, the harder it is to satisfy you. Do you understand?
Yeah. But why the fuck did he have a problem when we were dating? It took about 2 weeks and he comes. We both do the same line of work.
Yes.
You fuck every day for Brazzers. And he's like, I don't want you to do boy girl because it's a different thing.
Yeah.
My dick goes inside somebody.
Uh-huh.
I don't want anything going inside of you. But I'm like, we're doing the exact same work. He's like, I don't want you to do boy girl.
Wait, no. My point is, you asked before about what does body count matter?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so so there's just every piece of data that's ever been done on this show. And by the way, I've been living in Vegas for 15 years. Believe it or not, I've had 1 or 2 girlfriends. I will tell you that of guys, not me, obviously, guys I know that have been with 1,400 fucking women living here in Las Vegas. I will tell you, it
was up to 1,600 now.
So
is that the count now?
Yeah.
Okay,
So hold on, but if I were to do, here's the issue. But if I were to go to a girl who's like a hardcore feminist and I were to say, hey, just to let you know, you having more sexual partners before you get married makes it harder for you to be happy in a relationship, she might be offended. Now, right here, let's just say we have the biggest male slut you can possibly think of.
That
We're
guy
talking, yeah, we're talking about, hold on. We're talking about a guy who was a male stripper, then a gigolo, then an escort, then a porn star. I'm talking about this guy's been with 4,000 women. If I were to go to him and I were to say, hey man, just to let you know, you've been with a lot of women. It's probably going to be hard for you to be in a monogamous relationship. You know, he would say, he would be like, yeah, that sounds right. If I went to Dan Bilzerian or Hugh Hefner and I said, hey, do you know that you being with this many women is going to make it difficult for you to be in a long-term relationship? You know what both of them would say to me? Yeah, that sounds about right. No one would be offended. But when we say the same thing to women, they get very angry at us. Do you understand?
Like if you would say for me that it would be hard for me to be.
I'm not judging you morally, but you do understand
that
that level of stimulus, there's no way, like if it was like, hey, do you want to watch a movie with me and have some Netflix and then just sit there and we're going to do missionary sex? And I'm like there's memories that you have, Puma, probably in your life that are a little bit wilder than that. And so that the problem is I'm like, as a man, not me specifically, but general replacement level man who's dating Puma Swede, he has to compete with all of that in your mind. And by the way, vice versa, right?
Yeah, but it's like there has to be a match somewhere. It's like some people want mish and they want it calm, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that are like freakish. I want to explore. Let's bring in another person. Let's go.
Well,
And
I don't think you value a long-term monogamous relationship, so this wouldn't matter to you one way or the other. Do you understand? I'm saying for people who do, for people who want a long-term monogamous 2-parent household relationship, or at least they attempt to have that, being happier in a marriage is important to them. And what doesn't help that is when you have a woman who's been with hundreds of guys, that makes it harder for her to do that. If I say men who've been with hundreds of women, it's difficult for them to be in a relationship. That doesn't offend anyone. That doesn't offend women. That doesn't offend men.
No, but that goes with the whole thing that males, like the belief, I don't know if it's true, like men are like from the caveman, you're supposed to spread your seed.
Sure.
Like you're supposed to breed.
Yeah.
Like if that, I don't know if it's true. But
Yeah, no. I mean,
that's in your DNA.
So unfiltered,
I'll get you. I'll jump on
unfiltered.
this one,
Yes,
too.
the answer is yes. Go ahead.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say. So here's from an evolutionary perspective. Okay, yeah, you're right. What the mismatch between men and women in one perspective, anyways, is that men are K selected and women are R selected. Okay, so the K selection means that men breed like rabbits, right? We spread the seed. It's in our genetic survival reproductive best interests to mate with as many women as we possibly can. if unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, okay, which is basically what pornography offers to men in a virtual sense. Anyways, that's why it's free 4K ubiquitous streaming porn right now. But because it appeals to the male mating strategy, which is as you said, which is promiscuity. Well, the problem with that is that human beings have to invest a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of calories and a lot of money and a lot of time, everything into one offspring, okay, into one baby. So essentially, what is fucking for? It's for reproduction. So if the guy has sex with many women and he knocks up 12 chicks, that's very much successful for that guy because he was able to have sex with these 12 women. He has 12 offspring, and who are going to carry his DNA into the next generation, right? The thing is only if you're like for the reproductive costs for women is much higher, so they can only have one kid at a time, and they have to put a lot of time and a lot of energy into that kid over the course of anywhere between 7 to 12 years, so that kid can feed itself and run away from danger and can at least be somewhat semi-self-sufficient, right? So if you take into account like if you look at like a baby horse, right? Like a full. I
thought you said a baby horse.
A baby horse. Right? A baby horse can like a pony, a foal, right?
It can walk.
It can walk and it can run 30 minutes after it's been born, right? So very much a low, investment cost. I mean, you still have to watch after it and protect it for a while, but once it gets to 2 years in and it's adulthood, good to go, right? Human beings are not like that. So what happens is for men, our reproductive cost is way lower than it is for women, which is much higher because they have to invest in nurture and they have to breastfeed and they have to everything else that goes along with that. So it's in the best interest of that child if there is a man and a woman that are both equally parentally invested in that child, so that the kid survives and the race becomes the apex species on planet Earth after a while. So what happens is once you have that established, and you look at the difference. Like I get this question all the time when people say, "Well, monogamy is the natural thing. It's how human beings are naturally. What's the natural thing, right? Monogamy or promiscuity?" And the answer is both. Because the thing is like, and they can both be true at the same time. Because if monogamy wasn't a natural impulse for human beings, we'd all be dead.
Yeah,
if promiscuity wasn't also a natural impulse for human beings, we wouldn't have the same kind of diversity of species within the race.
So the concept is pair bonding. There's 5,000 mammals on the planet. 3% of those mammals actually pair bond. The answer, and by the way, I asked Dr. Buss this question, the evolutionary psychologist. I asked him this question. I said, is this a correct estimation of human monogamy? And it is periods of monogamy interspersed in a lifetime of polygamy. And the answer is yes. That is what it is. That life, and you've probably had small, at some point, monogamous relationships. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you've had monogamous relationships. Same thing with you, Stephanie. You've had monogamous relationships, but it wasn't one monogamous relationship that went throughout your whole life, right? So over the course of your life, you're not monogamous, but individually, there are periods of monogamy. So the answer is both are true. It's a nuanced answer to answer your question. Going back to what you said before, you're not defined. I know a lot of red pill guys are going to be hate when I say this. You're not defined by your body count, but your body count can affect your ability to be happy in a relationship. Just like if I'm constantly, for instance, have you seen how kids today, they're on these phones all the time. They're on these fucking screens, and they're so filled with stimulus that when you take them to the park, they can't get off their phone. Stimulus affects humans in a different way, and sexual intercourse is a form of stimulus. And you have so I'll tell you that I'm pretty ruined in this facet also. You've seen my girlfriend. I date really, really attractive women because of my previous experiences, to the point to where I probably look at physical attraction too much when it comes to relationship. And that's not always the best thing. Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
No, but I was going to say, when we talked about, did you read Sapiens? And he said,
when they... Like Yuval Noah Harari.
Yeah, when they're fucking cave people. You go around and you fuck all these people and you don't know whose kid it is. But the whole village raises the kid because you don't know. It could be your kid or it could be your kid. And when you say okay, a guy goes and fucks 12 women, the chance of having a child. But the same goes for us. It's you want to get preggo? Well, go fuck. Instead of just fucking one guy who didn't make pregnant, take 12.
But the problem is, evolutionarily, we lived hand to mouth. We if you think of the brutal existence we lived 27,000 years ago, your survival did depend on the men in your tribe. And the men wanting to invest in your child had to do with the fact that they knew that it was their child. You see what I'm saying? And if they didn't know that it was their child, then they're less likely to invest. And now you have to worry about predation and like the elements killing you and your child. So that's how culture worked previously. It doesn't mean everyone was married, so to speak, but men investing. The term is called parental investment hypothesis. It was developed by Professor Robert Trivers in the 1970s. The concept is of the two genders, the one that has the more to lose or the larger sex cell is the one that is pickier, right? There's nothing in the world that requires less force than a woman getting sex. And so why does that happen is because men were competing with other men for access to women. And when they had, but for me as a man, which woman am I going to invest the most in? The one that has my child. And then also you see with this thing with lions and I believe gorillas as well, when the male, when one of the alpha males is displaced, the second alpha male commits infanticide and kills all of the cubs of the previous ones, because this is genetic warfare. That's essentially what it is. If you are having sex with multiple men and I don't know the child is mine, I'm possibly losing this genetic warfare. Does that make sense?
I got it.
So that's where the issue comes from.
I have a new Substack post that's coming up. Probably, I think I might publish it tomorrow or Friday. But it's very similar to what you're talking about here. It takes a village to raise a child, right? That whole idea. The thing is though, again, that's sort of an egalitarian understanding of like, well, it takes a group of women in the hunter-gatherer tribe to help raise the other kids that are within the tribe, right? The thing is like, there's also this uncomfortable thing called male jealousy. And
yes.
There's also this thing called mate guarding behaviors and mate guarding instincts, right? And so, why does that still exist in human males today? Because it worked. Because there's actually a function to jealousy and mate guarding.
You're not wrong, but you also like it is a function of the ego, but you also do understand the evolutionary need for men to want to know that the child was theirs, right?
No, but I get it.
Right.
It's just like even today, it's like you have a girlfriend, she has a kid, you love that kid. It's like, okay, I'll step in and say that. But as soon as you're having your own kid,
yeah, that is a problem. That is an issue. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this. The data on child abuse, whenever they talk about the parent, they never distinguish. There is no detailed data on whether or not the parent is biological or not. The suggestion is, and I believe that the answer was, you're 40 times more likely to be abused with a step parent in the household. I believe that's the stat, to be abused. And then the likelihood of you getting killed was like 100x. It was wild.
Well, the thing is, I've read those stats as well.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like the non-biological, like if the non-biological father, like the stepdad or whatever, the boyfriend that moves in is like 1,000% or 100% more likely to abuse the child there.
Granted, most of the time there is an abuse. It's the comparison of abuse based on a two-parent biological parenting.
Okay, so here's the really uncomfortable connection between those. So you were just talking about how like when you have primate tribes and one alpha comes in and deposes the other rival alpha, his first order of business is to kill all the offspring of the previous alpha that was in there.
Yes.
And what that has the effect of doing is it sends all of his previous harem of female monkeys into estrus.
Yes.
And so they all want to have sex with the new alpha rival there as well, so that they can sort of propagate his line as well. The thing is the connection though is, and I don't think I'm saying anything new here, but there's a correlation at the very least, an association with the propensity for human non-biological stepdads being at least in some way abusive or hostile to the child of another biological man's offspring, and primates killing off the offspring of the rival alpha.
It is, but obviously it's not quite to the same level.
Well, obviously you can't kill, hopefully not kill the kid, but like there's that, there's the propensity for that sort of violence.
Well, you saw the whole situation that happened with Ivanka Trump, or was it which his current wife, what's her name right now? I can't remember.
Melania Trump.
Huh?
Melania.
Melania. Yeah. So Melania wanted to make sure that her child was taken care of, even though he has also a child with Ivanka. I believe that was the case. He like negotiated that, because that's an issue. It's like people want to make sure that their biological children are taken care of. So I think that part's really important.
Well, let's just also, we got to remember, we're not technically monkeys. We also understand stuff. We are hairless murder apes. At the base level. Yes, we are. Yes.
I think Puma's a bonobo.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, and then so I mean, just to finish everything off here is like the other thing when it comes to marriage and everything. The reason why you're, in my opinion, anyways, I think the reason why you're asking, everybody is asking this question is because
are you married?
I am married.
Okay.
Been married. I'm coming up on 30 years right now. And so the reason why people are asking this right now is because once we got to right about 2000, 2010, we started trying to figure out how to do marriage in the 21st century. Because we have all of this access to all of this information. We have social media, we have on-demand porn, we have lifestyles, we have, we have an ability to be as promiscuous as we are, as we want to be, or we can be as dedicated to the other person as we want to be. So it's like, it becomes this sort of choice. I've also talked about this, and I got into a little bit of trouble on Sean Michael Kelly's show about this when I was on with Rashad McCants, and everybody is talking about this clip. I'm going to show it to you guys a little in a minute here. But the only part that Sean, and I have no hate towards Sean, I love Sean to death, and I'm glad he actually did this clip. But I was talking about the different ways that we are sort of trying to define what a relationship is right now. And as you know, there is closed on the guy's end, closed on the woman's end, right? That's traditional kind of monogamy, a marriage kind of thing. Then there is closed on the woman's end and open on the man's end, which is sort of the Justin Waller effect. He can bring women into the marriage or into the bedroom, whatever. It helps if your girlfriend's bisexual. Then there is the open on everybody's end, which is the Destiny, the Destiny open marriage, open sexuality relationship, which we all know how that ended up. And then there's what I said was the most common version, which is both, like the man and the woman believe, or the man believes that he is in a closed on her end, closed on his end, but it's actually open on her end because she's still running Instagram and OnlyFans and everything else and refuses to stop advertising her sexuality and her availability, even though she is ostensibly with this guy. That is actually the most common, but I digress here. The thing is, we're still trying to figure out how we're going to do monogamy today. And by the way,
but wait, is that not still monogamy? Like, even if I'm in a relationship and I put myself online as available, I mean, it's a fantasy.
Well,
am I still not monogamous?
Well, it's because here's the difference between you're in the business. You make this is like this is how you make money. This is your bread and butter. Okay, so presenting and giving the fantasy, giving the perception that you take off the wedding ring. Because hey, I might be available, guys. I'm right around the corner. Call me now. That kind of stuff is you're still presenting the appearance. It doesn't work for me as well.
But if your wife did that, if your wife said she started an OnlyFans, maybe she has it. I don't know your wife, but if she did, and she's like, yeah, I'm fucking ready to fuck. Like, send me a dick pic. If it's good enough, I will do fuck a fan. Yeah. So no, but is she still monogamous?
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
But wait, she's not monogamous.
No, so technically she's monogamous, but that is a very troublesome. So here's the thing. I don't think it's a problem if.
Mama, I want to hear you say it. So wait, would you say you're cheating on me, or would you say you're not being very monogamous?
Well, okay, it's funny you should say that. In fact, I'll play the video here for you in just a second. So what I'm saying is that I've gone around this table on damn near every show where I've gone around here, and I've asked the women on this show. I said, hey, look, if you found the perfect guy, if you found a guy who was, everything you were looking for in a guy, he was good looking, he fucked you real good, he had a 10-inch dick, he makes at least 68% more again than you do. He is, because that makes you economically viable. I don't know where that number came from, but the point of this is he's ideal. He's the perfect dude for you. Would it not occur to you to say, you know what? Maybe I should take those pictures. I curate some of those pictures, take some of those pictures down on Instagram so that he doesn't get, because he's the perfect dude.
Look how confused she looks.
I don't want him. I don't want him to get any idea.
Look how confused she is.
Wrong.
Why would I take my OnlyFans down? Why would I do this?
No, but why would I, just because he makes more money? Maybe I fucking make more money. Why would I shut down? Because maybe, like in your book, like, he makes money. He can get a 20-year-old pussy whenever the fuck he wants. So in 10 years, he's like, well, I'm fucking bored of you. This 20-year-old came up. I want that.
And this is
then I
exactly
stand there. I'm like, I give up my business because he said he loves me forever. And like, if I had a guy and he wants to put his fucking pictures with his 6-pack and like hands in his back. I'm not go fucking do it. And then I don't like you talk about other women wanting him. I'm like, fuck yeah, but he's walking home with me. He can fucking flirt and like everybody wants him, and I'm like,
but
come
so
here.
so the answer I suppose would be no. It would never occur to me to take down my pictures
No.
because I didn't want him to get the idea that I want to be with someone else.
Oh, wait, are we talking about your wife?
I'm
now?
talking about the wife. So the wife she's thinking, hey, look, I'm
asking about your
Yeah.
wife.
What about her?
Would she be allowed to have an
No,
OnlyFans?
she would not be allowed to have
But
an
why?
OnlyFans.
Okay, but why? Because it would make you jealous.
Because the fundamental model of our relationship is closed on my end and closed on her end.
But how is it not closed? She's selling a fantasy. It's not go. She's not
Yeah,
leaving
because-
the door fucking that day.
Okay, I can explain.
Oh my God.
No, listen, I can explain. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah.
here we go. If men have to prove their quality to a woman, right? They have to be they're the pitch men. Okay. They're the guys who have to say, here's why you should fuck me. I look good. I have all this stuff. I'm qualifying for all of this, in some way, shape, or form. Guys are always in some way qualifying for that chick. They have to have good game. They have to say, hey, I'll take you out on a date. They have to initiate. So it's the men tend to be the pitch men. Women, on the other hand, are the advertisers. All they have to do is say, hey, look, this is what you get, right? I look good. Oh, here's a picture. Here's my pictures on Instagram or whatever else. I'm on the beach in Aruba or wherever it is. This is what you're going to get if I pick you because you've you pitched me, you sold me on you, right? The thing is when we're in a relationship where it's closed on my end and closed on her end, if I go to just as you said, if I go to the hot waitress or the hot bartender or whatever, in the club or something like that, and I am flirting with her and I am pitching myself to her, well, at the same time, I'm telling my wife that I am with her. What do we call that? We call it cheating, right? Because the guy is actually putting himself out there because it seems like he wants to get after this chick, right?
Like, listen, hold on.
Okay. So wait, hear me out. Okay. So here's the thing. So but when a woman, if you're still in a closed on his end and closed on her end relationship, if that woman is still advertising the perception that she is available or she is in some way, she could be available to some guy, right? Who's still looking good. We don't call that cheating. We call that content now. And so,
okay, but what is your problem with your wife doing it? Is it jealousy? Is it control issue? Why can't you do it? Just answer that.
So it's not a problem. The fact is that why do we call me pitching myself
But
to
doesn't
someone
matter
else?
what you call it.
Because
Why can't your wife do it? Just answer that. Why can't?
Because it goes outside of the parameters of that
The
model.
rules you have in your relationship.
That we have a mutual agreement to.
Okay, so you have
but
agreed.
like Puma, you understand most people can't function in a relationship like the ones that you have, right?
No, I know I'm different.
Yes.
I was just
You have more
curious.
testosterone than most
I do,
men in
and
North
I just
America.
measured it, and
Yeah.
I'm way too
Yeah,
high.
you're like 800 nanograms.
I'm actually 400. I didn't say you need to tone it
You
down.
got to be kidding me. You have 400 nanograms per deciliter as a female?
I
That's
don't know. I was just-
unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
I believe
I'm
it.
overdoing it. So
I believe
I
it.
haven't done my blood, so it's like
Okay.
tone it down. But no, I was just curious of the reason and stuff. But now you explained it. It's
Mhm.
like we have an agreement. Like
because as I said before, those are the four models of relationships right now. It's closed on my end, closed on her end, closed on her end, open on his end, closed on his end, open on her end, and then.
But when
open
you
on
say
everybody's
closed,
end.
I mean like legs closed to other people.
Well,
but when
Right,
you say
but
like,
for you,
I mean-
you're talking about like the other parts of it. It's individual people have the right to whatever relationship they want as long as both people have the opportunity to leave, right?
Mhm.
So I have friends that are Muslim and they're like, I don't want my wife walking around without a burqa, and then she has to only be accompanied by a male family member and she can't speak to other men. If that's the rule and she agreed to it,
Yeah.
then that's fine. It's whatever. For me, it's been a little different because I've dated so many girls that were in Playboy and Maxim or whatever. A lot of the girls that I've been with, they have an OnlyFans, but if they're with other dudes, that's no. That doesn't. We're not doing
okay, so you would say no.
that. I would say
She
no. If she's with other dudes, absolutely fucking not.
If
But if
she's
she's
with you-
posting bikini content that she posts on her IG, on her OF, for me, as a rule, I don't care as much. I mean, it's not preferable, it's not optimal, but it's not that big of a deal to me. What's a big deal to me is no other dudes ever. That's the difference for me.
Okay, that I get that you don't want her to get boned
Yeah.
by anybody else. But the fucking content, and I feel like you should be ahead of the line. Like you wrote the book and stuff, and it's like you go do you. And I feel like you're striving backwards. That like I mean, I get the whole rule thing, and you have to figure out whatever relationship you're in. I'm not against that, but
I'm not okay. So I'm approaching this from the models of relationships rather than, because this is exactly what everybody wanted to say. Like, oh, you want a girl to be everybody's on this slippery slope automatically. If I go and I say, why is it that when a woman advertises her sexuality, when she's basically presenting this perception of being available, while at the same time the guy and the woman are supposed to be in a relationship together? Why would it not occur to that woman to simply say, you know what, maybe I should take those down? Maybe I don't want him to get the wrong idea, because he's so perfect, and I want to have a really great relationship. I want to have babies with him. I'm ride or die with this guy. Would that not occur to you? Now, I didn't say if the guy asked you to, would you take him down? Every single woman on the panel would go, no, there's no, absolutely, he wouldn't be the right guy if he asked me to do that, right? I understand that. That's why I phrased the question this way. Would it occur to you to organically, like, would it come into your brain? Would you have the conception of thinking, he's the most perfect guy I've ever met in my life, and I don't want him to get any idea that I am trying to get with anybody else. So I'm going to maybe not take your Instagram down, but curate the picture so it doesn't look like you're available. Or would you then post pictures of you and the guy on your Instagram? And the reason I brought this up is because there was an article, it was in the Atlantic not too long ago, and Scott Galloway was talking about it. And it was about how women are embarrassed to be with a boyfriend right now. And I said, and of course, Scott Galloway was saying something like, oh, well, it's because guys ain't shit. It always defaults to guys ain't shit, right? But the thing is like, it's not that guys aren't measuring up. It's that women lose sexual market capital the minute that they put a picture of them and their boyfriends on Instagram together. Because as soon as you do that, the fantasy is over. As soon as you put a picture of you and the guy there, that's why women do soft launches, with the hand holding pictures, and they show their feet with a Corona at the beach or some shit like that.
No, I think she agrees. I just don't think she cares.
Yeah.
I just don't think Puma cares.
Yeah.
For instance, you've been in relationships and not promoted it onto your fans, right? You've done that, of course.
And like it's the same thing. Like if we're dating and we go out and the waiters flirts with you, I don't accept, like, what do you say? Like, I don't believe that you should be like, hey, I'm in a relationship with this woman here. I don't want to disrespect her, so I can't talk. Flirt all you want. And I can be like, after, when she's like, hey, you want to take my number? You're like, actually, I would hope you maybe say like, I'm actually.
There's also another aspect, which I'm going to guess on a scale of 1 to bisexual, you're a little bit further along than I am, right? I'm not interested in men being with my girl, and I'm not interested in men at all. I'm only interested in my girl.
Men being with you.
Yeah, and I'm not interested.
Wait,
exactly.
what?
I'm not interested in that.
But you said yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm saying is you're probably a little bit more comfortable with that than most guys.
Yeah.
Right. So that's also kind of a reason why you might not have that big of a deal with him flirting with someone else.
Yeah, but it's so interesting when you talk, like you said, like, oh, male flirting and women posting pictures. It's like a woman fuck, if you say my body count 1,000, you'd be like, whoa, like, fuck, like, why did you do that? Well, if you say that, your friends go like, high five, you're fucking amazing.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard for a guy to get to 1,000.
It's a double standard.
Not unless you live in Brazil or Colombia. It's pretty hard to get to 1,000.
It's definitely. We're gonna have a threesome. It's like, okay, well, let's bring another dude. It's like, well, I was thinking another girl.
Yeah.
Would you rather it be 2 dudes or 2 girls?
I
don't give a shit.
Okay.
Anything goes. It's like
I believe that you are telling the truth. I believe every word. I believe everything. All right, Stephanie. Real quick for this, do you have any thoughts on what you've heard here so far?
I was just going to say that taking back what you were saying, it just depends on the male. And it
talking to the mic.
Oh, it depends on the male. Like, why should she take down her content or exclusive content? I just think it depends on the relationship, because if the male, like, if Michael doesn't care, you may care, or maybe the standard man may care. And honestly, the man would want, because I've been in situations where he loves me to be hot with him or having hot content, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't care so much. Whereas some guys, they do care, but you wouldn't be with me if I wasn't hot.
The line, I think, everybody has a different line. I'm just to the point where, like, I've been with too many girls that were models for me to start saying, oh, I give a shit about this. The line for me is no men, period. No other men can touch it is your job as the person I'm dating to protect the sanctity of your mouth, your nipples, your vagina, and your butthole. That is your
sanctity. But my rule is no fucking on the same street or the same zip code.
Oh, so they have to leave the zip code?
Because I don't want to walk to the neighbor. And she's like, oh, wait, was he there yesterday?
Puma, you seem,
off the street.
Puma, you seem like a walking red flag, but a lot of fun at the same time. Yeah.
Wait, Mike, I got to know something. Okay, so with you, okay.
Uh-huh.
One guy, two girls, okay. One guy with you.
That's
one guy, you and two girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you and three girls.
Happened before, yes.
You and four girls.
COVID was a wild time. COVID was a wild time.
You and five girls.
That would be, I could do it, but like, I don't,
okay,
most
so,
guys,
okay.
no,
right,
I don't
so
think
we'll
so.
draw the line at four. Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay. You and two girls and one guy.
No, I can't even, no.
You and three girls and one guy. Okay. So the guys, there's never a guy in the, you're the,
okay, so hold on. Here's the thing.
You're the star of the show.
Hold on. If there were 10 girls and he was on the other side of the room in excess of 50 feet away and we weren't facing each other, it's not optimal. It's not optimal, but maybe we could, I don't know. What do you think? How many girls is too many, Stephanie?
Yeah, I'd say the ratio 5 to 1.
5 to 1 is the limit.
Yeah, it's like it's the limit.
I did not know you were that cool.
I feel like 5 to 5.
Both of you are way cooler than I
But
imagined.
can I ask you then? Because there was an interesting question in the Swedish radio one time, and there was guys that said the girl is allowed toys, but the dick cannot be realistic. It has to be a purple glitter one. It cannot be realistic, and it cannot be bigger than mine. Are you okay with your wife showing up with like a fist? And she's like, I'm gonna go masturbate, and she's like,
it's an actual fist.
Yeah, like the rubber
I would
fist.
probably call a therapist. I don't know that I would be.
No, but would you be okay?
Jealousy would not be the correct word.
Call the police.
No, but would you be okay? She's like, I'm gonna take this upstairs. Do not come up. I'm gonna have half an hour. Me and the fist. Is that okay?
No.
It's probably not okay. Okay,
No.
so but the feeling isn't jealousy. That's not jealousy. That's just something weird.
But why?
Why?
This is so weird.
I need to. I need to.
Okay, time out. Hold on, everybody, stop what you're doing right now. Puma Swede is telling Rollo Tomasi that it's weird that he won't let his wife have sex with a large fist. She's saying that it's a
rubber
she's
fist.
saying
It's not your
it's
fist.
weird to
it's
him.
A rubber.
No.
Rubber fist.
If it's my fist, it's even weirder. Yeah. That's what's crazy here. That's masochism at that point. No, I don't think that would work.
No, but I'm shocked.
No. The most other people are shocked by what you're saying.
Yes.
It's the other way around.
Can you please do a poll now?
Okay.
And ask the people.
Okay, ready? Here
we go.
Let's say in the chat the diameter of the fist that you'd be comfortable with your girlfriend having sex with.
Write it down.
Right. The diameter in centimeters of the fist you're comfortable with. Okay.
Or just say, is she allowed to go upstairs for 30 minutes with a rubber fist?
Okay, that's incredible. We've solved all of dating problems right now.
We figured it all out. All right.
Okay.
Shall we do a video?
Let's do it.
Let's do
I
a video.
wanted.
What do
Did
you
you see
wanna
this SSRI one? Did you see this one?
Yeah, I do. Hang on a second.
This one's really interesting. Made me think about something we've discussed before. I'm actually curious to see what Stephanie and Puma think about this.
Yeah, so I'm living with a condition called post-SSRI sexual dysfunction. Sexual dysfunction is one of the most common and reliable side effects of SSRIs. In fact, 50 to 70% of all patients taking these will have sexual side effects. What patients are not warned about is that these side effects can be permanent long after you stop the last drug dose. And PSSD is not just low libido, it is a full nervous system injury in which you lose total sexual function neurologically through essentially nervous system damage. So the hallmark symptom of PSSD is genital numbness. Yes, like complete loss of sensation in your genitals. For me, I clearly hate to talk about this, but my clitoris is completely numb as if it's the back of my elbow. I have no sensation internally. I'm 23 years old. Sufferers also lose the ability to orgasm permanently, like for the rest of their lives, and their libido entirely, which for me and what a lot of other people experience is like a sudden onset, like chemical asexuality that just never goes away. And in my opinion, I don't think it's sensational to say that this is a form of chemical castration, that it is permanent. But beyond that, PSSD is not just a loss of sexual function, but a loss for some people of emotional function as well. That has been the case for me. Before this, I was a super emotional, empathetic, loving, caring, like Sylvia Plath reading and resonating girl. And the day I woke up with this injury, I quite literally felt my soul leave my body. Like, I'm so serious. It was the most unbelievable, inorganic thing I've ever experienced. And it's a common symptom of people who have this condition. To this day, it's been years for me. I'm 23 now. I can't feel love from my own mother, which is the hardest thing on earth. I can't feel connection or love for my friends, or even pleasure in music, which was the bane of my existence. I was a songwriter since I was a child. It was my outlet. And it's been completely neurologically severed from these medications. And I just like to say there's a reason that, you know, every song on the radio, every movie on your television, every piece of art since the beginning of humanity centers on sex and love. And not just romantic love, but platonic, familial love. And that is because these are the most central, intoxicating, worthwhile, and fulfilling parts of the human experience. These aren't luxuries. And to remove someone's ability to participate, not just physically through sex, which is completely horrific on its own, but to remove someone's ability to emotionally connect with another human being is a crime against humanity. And I say crime against humanity because there is evidence that Eli Lilly, who created the first SSRI Prozac, knew their drugs could cause permanent sexual dysfunction and emotional numbness in children especially. And they withheld this from the public because they knew it would be a threat to the bottom line. I mean, I hope I'm not the only one who believes that there's nothing more criminal or dystopian to withhold from patients and parents of patients that your medication can permanently chemically castrate and emotionally numb its user for the rest of their life. PSSD is not on the drug label. It's not even in the fine print. I quite literally had no way of knowing that this is possible or that this could happen to me. The FDA actually received a citizen's petition from sufferers in 2018, begging the risk be added to the label, and it was completely ignored. I took Zoloft in 2022. If this correction was made, I would have had full informed consent. I could have chosen an alternative. I would have been spared from the most inorganic, inhumane suffering I could have never imagined. I mean, we think these parts of us are immutable, and I'd argue that they are, but when you introduce a chemical agent so, perverse, these things that are so central are able to be removed, and it's horrific. But what makes PSSD so torturous is that we've been blindsided, betrayed, and maimed by the industry that we were told and instructed to trust, and we trusted fully given we took these medications. And now we've been offered no way back to our lives or humanities.
There you go.
All right, so I want to go over this real quick because one of the things we talk about on the show. First off, what do you think about that, Stephanie? Seeing that the permanent damage from SSRIs.
Oh my God, it's awful.
Yeah, so the inability. I've actually talked to girls who've gone through this, and actually in their early 20s, they're prescribed SSRIs and they're incapable of having an orgasm afterwards because of this was a correction for the depression they were feeling.
So how do you love again?
We'll get to that in just a second. What do you think about this?
Can I just ask if I heard, did she say she has PTSD?
Mm-hmm. Or it's PS.
No, it wasn't PTSD, but
Okay.
it is a sexual dysfunction from SSRIs.
And SSRIs
Yes.
are the medication.
Yeah,
right?
they're
Those
beta
are-
blockers. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. No, but it's sort of, I thought she said PTSD, and I'm like, go for mushrooms. Like,
Okay.
Don't trust.
So just so you guys want to know, because this, when I saw this, I was just like, so much started to make sense. SSRIs may cause sexual dysfunction in 40 to 65% of individuals. Realistic estimate is somewhere between 30 and 50%. One large prospective study showed the rate between 58 and 73% across all SSRIs. There's been several studies that are done on this, but here's the other part. The highest SSRI antidepressant user by demographic, women aged 40 to 59 taking antidepressants are more than any other age sex group. 23% of them are on antidepressants. Women are twice as likely to take as men to take antidepressants, 16.5% versus 8.6%. And this holds true across every age group. So 16.5% in general, women over 40, it goes up to 23%. Use is highest amongst women age 60 and over, 24.3%. So it keeps climbing past
I have
40.
the stats right here.
Yes.
I use this all the time. This is what it looks like. If you look
But
at the
can
other
I
screen right
ask,
there.
so she was depressed and she started taking Prozac. Was that?
Yes.
what's that? And when did this happen? Like recently?
She said that she's 23 years now, and 23 years old now, and she quit taking it. What she said was years ago, and she is now incapable of having an orgasm.
Okay, I'm just saying now we have more information. So if you go and take a medication and you don't use the available resources to research what this medication, and you just trust doctors that give you antidepressant, and here you go, and then you have side effects and you take this, but maybe that information wasn't available. Like maybe that was years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying
Yeah.
that it wasn't available to her.
Yeah.
Now, with this being available, do you think fewer women over 40 are being prescribed SSRIs, Puma?
No, America loves fucking medication.
There you go.
Medicate
There you
fucking
go.
people, numb them.
What do you think about this?
About being prescribed SSRI.
Yes. What do you think about
the?
the fact that it's women over 40 are the ones that are prescribed
White
SSRIs the
women of
most?
45.
Well,
Look at
if
that
the
jump right
side
there.
effects are that severe, I wouldn't want anyone to take it.
Okay, now the next question I'm going to ask you is why is it women over 40 that are being prescribed SSRIs so much?
Why would they need it? Just
What-
for sexual drive?
Why do you think? Why do you think? No, it gets rid of their sexual drive. Why do you think women over 40 are presenting signs of depression at a rate to which they're being prescribed SSRIs more than anyone
Oh,
else?
this is a good one.
Does this have to do with your book? Like
We're almost there.
No,
we're
but
getting
I mean,
we're
women
getting there.
are
Why would
past-
We're
some
getting
of
there.
Women are past their prime.
It's not about
like-
it's not about past their
No,
prime.
but I think today with I don't know if it's only like this research, like in Sweden we have a group called Suicide Zero. A lot of males have a lot of problems. Like the male depression is a very like big group as
It
well.
is, but men still suffer from
Yeah.
depression at half the rate that women do.
Yeah, but I think women are more likely to feel vulnerable and go look for help. While as male, you got to stay strong and go and to say like, "Hey, I'm depressed." It's like, well, what the fuck? Grab a beer and get your shit together.
There is some of that, but here's another idea. What about all the women being sold the idea that it is misogynistic to have children, that it is patriarchal to have children, to get married, to settle down? We're at the lowest rates of marriage and the lowest birth rates in history. And then the most women over the age of 40 are being given medication for depression. I don't think you're depressed.
Yeah, no,
Puma,
no,
I think
no,
you're-
I'm-
I think
I'm
you're
never-
exactly
but
where
I
you wanna
never-
be.
No, but it's for me. If like I have people that have gone through depression and it has nothing, they already have kids or something.
Okay.
It's something totally different. And for that to be like they're pressured or like the society expect that you're 40, you should have your shit together and you should have babies, and they get depressed. If
No,
they
I think
don't.
I think it's the opposite. I think
No, but-
society right now is not telling you to have kids. Go the most popular
why are they-
podcast for women is Call Her Daddy, and they're telling you to not have kids. Sheryl Sandberg, who was the former COO of Meta, what was it? Was it Facebook?
Facebook.
Yeah, the former COO of Meta is basically saying that the trad wife trends on TikTok are misogynistic. You wanting to get married and have kids in and of itself is misogyny. Women are not being encouraged to get married and have kids, but they
Misogyny.
are becoming more depressed.
But so what was your point? You were saying what you're like, here's
I
another idea.
think
so
there-
your idea was
I think
that-
there are some women out there that don't want to have kids and they're very happy not having kids. I think more women are being convinced to not have kids than naturally would have kids had they not received TikTok propaganda from female panders sitting there telling them this fucking woke nonsense. Sorry, that's what I
So
said.
you
I
think
can-
that they're depressed because they
I think
get up
I want you to think of something. Now, I don't have kids and you don't have kids, but I'm asking you a question here real quick.
Okay.
Do you think it would make sense for the entire human population to not want to have kids?
I would not fucking give a shit.
No.
I mean,
Time
but
out. We're asking an evolutionary psychology
Okay.
question. 110 billion people that have ever lived on the planet. Would it make sense if none of them wanted to have kids?
Yes, it would fucking
How would
make
it make
sense.
sense? We wouldn't have any fucking
we're-
people.
No, but we're fucking dumb. I'm actually impressed by Elon Musk. Like his fucking life goal is to save humanity, to send
And
us
he has
to Mars.
12 kids.
No, but I'm like, you think if you look at humanity today, you think that we're so fucking good that we should be saved and carried on.
Okay.
Did,
So,
did you see that? There was just a story. It just came out today. It was like
Sorry if
that
I'm
chick-
negative.
the chick from OpenAI is accusing Elon Musk of offering her samples of his sperm
oh no.
so that she could
All right, listen,
become
Puma,
impregnated.
Puma, we're having two different discussions here.
Real
You're
fucking
having
talk.
you're having a moral discussion about what humans are worth, and I'm not having that
Okay.
discussion. I'm having an evolutionary discussion about how did we get here.
Okay.
And the idea that the majority of humans throughout history would have not wanted to have kids is absurd because we wouldn't have any
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So my
I
idea,
wouldn't be here,
right,
so-
correct. So my point is the idea of telling women that you don't want to have kids is actually going against their evolution, which is increasing the amount of depression. I'm not saying you're depressed, but it is increasing the amount of depression that women feel in general. The idea that whether or not kids make you happy or not happy, my whole thing is how evolutionarily could kids not make you happy? If they didn't make you happy, there'd be no kids. There'd be no people. For a woman to have a child, I'm sure you can speak to this, is a massive sacrifice for her body. If she didn't love the shit out of their child, would childbirth be worth it?
Yes.
No. Would it be worth it if you didn't love your kid? No, it would suck, right? It was really, really suck. In order for you to make it worth it, your brain gives you this huge flush of oxytocin the moment you hold your child the first time, because that's how evolution designed us. Evolution designed us to have kids. There's no matter what Sheryl Sandberg has to say, I don't care how much more money she has than me, she's not right on this. There is no possible way that you're going to convince me that humans were designed to not have kids. And I'm someone who doesn't have kids. I'm not, it's ridiculous. So the idea that not having kids for this huge cohort of women might be causing them to get depressed, that's not too far of a stretch.
Say something really sick and sappy out of character right now, but maybe it's not. But I'm sure you'll agree too, because you have a child. You have a younger child. Mine's grown, so she's old and nasty. No, she's not. I love her to death. When my daughter was born, and I'm just a dude. Like I'm going through something different than a woman is going to go through when she has the kid, because it actually comes out of your body, and it's like you carry the kid for 9 months. I get it. Trust me, you not trying to take anything away for Troy, not at all. But the thing is, when you have that kid for the first time, it's like you don't know that you can love something that much. And you're like, you think, oh, I love you too, baby. I love my pets. I love this, that kind of stuff like that. You don't know just like how much you can love one thing, like how like serious a feeling that is when you have like this little face that looks at you and it looks like you. And you're like, holy shit, I cloned myself, or I copied myself or something. And you're looking at that and you go, man, I am going to do, I will just kill any motherfucker that comes here. Like I literally, when my daughter was born, this is funny. I like telling this story. When my daughter was born, I was like, I'd heard all these stories about like babies getting snatched and stuff like that. So like I went and I followed her from, when she was born all the way into like where they put her in like the French fry warmer, kind of thing right there. And I just stayed there the whole time, because it's just like, I don't want anybody to, to take my kid, because suddenly you have this sense of like, I don't know, it's weird because that's hard to describe until you like it happens to you, but it's like you don't realize you can love something as much as like it's a different form, it's a different feeling kind of thing. I know it's weird, but I know my wife has said the same thing, and you probably experienced the same thing as well. Like when you have the kid right there, it's like I know it's oxytocin and everything. I understand the biochemical nature of it all, but it's like there's just, I don't know, something clicks in your head, I guess, when the baby's
either
there.
people have or they don't. Some people become great
I
dads.
think most people have it, but like my question is from a macro standpoint, from all humans who have ever existed, how could it be any other way? How could you not love the shit out of your children? They're born, they can't walk, they can't feed themselves. If we didn't love the shit out of our children, how would we exist? My mother, happy birthday, Mom. She turned 84 years old today. And my mother just wrote me. I called her this morning. I texted her first thing at midnight today to tell her. And she still tells me she loves me all the time. I'm 48 years old. And she still tells me this all the time. Okay, guys. Listen to me. How could it be any other way? So my point is, if we as humans were designed to love our offspring and to have offspring, and you're telling women in mass to not have kids, and that even the idea of marriage is patriarchal and misogynistic, then the obvious conclusion is more women being depressed, being prescribed SSRIs. I don't see how you can come to any other conclusion.
I got another.
Can I just ask, why is she saying not to have kids? What, like this person, like why? What is her reason?
So it's not quite that simple. What she's saying is, again, Sheryl Sandberg's a former CEO of COO of Facebook. She wrote a book called Leaning In, and now she has, I guess it's an NGO where basically she goes up against red pill content and believes that what's called the trad wife fad on TikTok, she considers that to be misogynistic. So women making their own choice to make sandwiches for their husbands, treat their husbands well, have the house clean for their husbands, have children for their husbands, in and of itself, even though it's the woman's decision, it's misogynistic, which is insane to me, because she doesn't get to determine what other people want to do.
So she thinks that they're having the kid for the husband, not
correct. So my whole thing is, while I'm sure, like, I don't have kids, you don't have kids, I don't begrudge anyone for having kids. I don't think it's stupid. My brother has a kid. I don't think it's dumb that anyone else wants to have a kid. I probably should have had a kid earlier. I totally understand that. There's no problem with that. My issue is the idea that in general women should stop wanting to have kids is madness to me. Like, how could that not? It's almost like saying, hey man, you shouldn't get any sunlight. Well, no. What humans were designed to live in sunlight. That's the reason why one of the best ways to cure depression is to walk outside in sunlight. Evolutionarily, I'm asking you guys a question. How could the answer be anything else than to walk outside in sunlight? No, you shouldn't walk outside in sunlight. It's so stupid. Obviously, having children, there has to be emotional, biological, neurochemical rewards because it's hard to have kids and to take care of them. How could the answer be anything other than that? So if you're telling people to do something that goes directly against their evolutionary responses, how could the result be anything other than depression? I don't grasp how there's any other argument here. Even for Sheryl Sandberg, if you want to punch down and tell me that I'm wrong.
I can tell you how we get to those stats, though. Okay, so this is
Can I just did we get any responses on the rubber fist?
Yes.
No,
We're good. Again, we
well
need the rubber
beyond-
fist
we're
answers.
Well beyond the rubber fist. No, I was gonna say is like I wrote this article on Twitter just this week, and it had to do with the idea of what happiness is and what happiness is not, because it's not a week goes by that some son of a bitch comes up with some article that says, well, married women are happier, or unmarried women are happier, or women with kids are happier, guys who are married are healthier and happier and happy. And it's like, I'm like, first of all, how are you measuring happiness? Because there's a great book that, by the way, is not on Audible. You're going to have to read it yourself.
Fuck that.
It's yeah, actually use your eyes. It's called Positive Evolutionary Psychology. And there's a section in there about happiness, okay? The feeling, the emotion of happiness. And what is the emotion of happy? What does it do, right? Now, I approach it from this perspective because happiness is a proximate outcome, not an ultimate outcome. So what we do is we sell women on this idea that they can be happy in the long term. It can be maintainable. It can be sustained. But the problem is that's not how happiness works. Happiness is a proximate goal. Happiness is what we feel when we're doing something that is inherently, intrinsically rewarding. So when I'm playing guitar, when I'm fishing, when I'm doing a hobby, when I'm doing this show, when I'm talking to you, I'm having an enjoyable, conversation here. So in a sense, it's internally rewarding. And I could say, well, I feel happy right now because I'm doing this. Well, if you would have asked me if I was happy when I was in the hospital back in December, I would have said, no, fucking sucks. And I'm not very happy, right? Because what I was going through at that time really sucked, right? So I was not happy at that time. What it is the feeling, the emotion of happiness happens when we're doing something that pushes us towards either reproduction or survival. So the things that we do that make us happy, that's your body, that's nature, that's everything telling you to keep doing this. This is cool. You're good.
It doesn't mean it's always good. Male jealousy,
not always.
Jealousy leading to homicide is not good.
Right. Well, the thing is that's another thing. Is jealousy is another emotion.
Yes.
Emotion is what does it do? And how does emotion function? It pushes you from one state to another. If you are depressed, if you are anxious, if you have these feelings that are what we would otherwise call negative, well, in that case, what is your body telling you? What is the emotion telling you? We can't sustain you in this state, so you need to move on to something else. You need to stop being pissed off and depressed and anxious all the time. Get out of whatever conditions you're in so that you can move to a more sustainable state. That is survival right there. So when you're looking at jealousy, depression, anxiety, those are all emotions that are meant to push you on to something else. Happiness happens when you're doing something that is intrinsically rewarding to you. The problem is we've taught 4 generations of women that it is sustainable, it's a goal state. You can go from where you are right now, girl, and you can be in this enduring happiness that never fucking ends, right? It's because happiness becomes a goal. It becomes a state of being. It's like nirvana, and you've done all the right things. You've jumped through all the hoops. You got all the degrees. You got the job. You got the bag. You got the husband. You got the kids. You got everything else, right? And you keep going and going and going, and you're still not happy. Well, the problem is you were happy when you were trying to get those things, but now that you have those things, you're like, what's next? I'm in a state of discontent. And what happens is we teach women from a very early age, from the time they're watching Disney movies, from the boomer generation all the way up to Gen Z, Gen Alpha right now, that not only is it sustainable and maintainable for women, but they are entitled to it, that they actually deserve to be that way. And if you're not married to a guy that meets your needs and makes you happy all the fucking time, because we need to maintain that happiness, there's something wrong with him or there's something wrong with you. So how do we fix that? We go and have a medical cure for that, or a medical shortcut. That shortcut is either tequila, or it is SSRIs, or it's some kind of medical thing that makes you feel that state of euphoria, that state of happiness, or cut off everything in an SSRI. That is why we prescribe women the SSRIs in such record numbers, because we've sold them on this overall conception, this social convention that they are entitled to a never-ending state of happiness. If they can't get that and achieve that, we've got the pills to fix it for you.
Do you believe that things like social media, remember we were talking about stimulus before? Mm-hmm. Do you think that things like social media and things like dating apps make some women feel that they are more attractive than they actually are to the opposite sex? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so you understand that, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think the same thing?
100% agree.
Okay, cool. So you understand that what that does, though, now I'm at a point where I could settle down. I'm a female. I could get married. I could settle down. But instead, I don't see any men being a good match for me, because for this example, I'm going to use a woman who's the median. She's a 5, and she thinks that she's an 8.5. And so she only tries to match with guys who are 8.5s, and they will absolutely have sex with her, but none of them will settle down with her. And then she ends up 39, 40, 45, childless, and then she's prescribed an SSRI. Could that possibly be leading to where some of this, could that possibly be the cause for some of this problem? What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, I want you to understand why she would take it in the first place. I would never tell anybody to take SSRI.
Right, but she's depressed. I mean, she's thinking about taking her own life.
Okay,
so
there's so many other things. Like,
I know, I totally agree.
right.
But like the pharmaceutical companies don't
Go
make
to the
money
gym.
for you going to the gym, right?
Go to the gym.
Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you right
fucking
now,
squat.
I
Right.
fully expect for pharmaceutical
go
lobbyists.
out with friends, do things that make you happy.
I
enjoy
fully-
your hobbies.
Guys, listen, record that. This is the clip. Ready? I fully expect for pharmaceutical lobbyists to make exogenous testosterone illegal, because exogenous testosterone is making too many men fit, loud, and healthy. It's too much. I don't need your fucking ED medication anymore because I'm using testosterone. I don't need your weight loss medication anymore because I'm using testosterone. I don't need your anxiety medication anymore because I'm having so much sex with my girlfriend. I don't have any anxiety. I'm doing great. I don't need any of your pharmaceuticals anymore because I took testosterone, because I got on peptides. I fully expect part of the reason why a lot of these peptides are not FDA approved is because when we start getting on them, we aren't going to need Zoloft. We aren't going to need Prozac.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't going to need Adderall anymore. And when that happens, they're going to lose so much money. And they have so much money involved in politics right now. And you're telling me that what just imagine, did you see the whole, I told you this before, the whole New York Magazine article about Andrew Huberman. You remember that? Yeah. The 6.
Yeah.
I'm telling you without a doubt, if you go look at all the people who were complaining about Andrew Huberman, you know what they all had in common? They were fat. Andrew Huberman was giving people advice on how to get healthy. And all these big food and big pharma cannot have one of the biggest podcasters in the world telling you to do cold plunge and telling you to use the steam room in the sauna, to working out, to do intermittent fasting, because they know if you do that, you aren't going to eat the McDonald's and you aren't going to take the Zoloft. And that can't be the answer. And so that's why I truly believe that there are lobbyists out there in this country that were actually trying to get the New York Magazine to write that article to try to besmirch him, because he was making too many men healthy. And that's the issue. Now, going back to what I said before, you telling women to not have kids is not going to make them happier. The result is more of them will take SSRIs. As a result, more of them will then end up with this disorder that we just discussed right there.
I should also add that, like, when you have a kid that is doing something, right? So when you have that kid, it can be a very enjoyable, sometimes it sucks, but like it can be a very enjoyable experience. There's ups and downs, obviously, but you're doing something. You can never be happy, but you do happy. You can do the things that make you feel the emotive state.
So you're saying me and the 3 girls, I'm doing
That
happy.
makes you happy.
I'm doing
I know,
happy.
I know
Yes.
people live in it.
I have to be honest with you. I agree with
Makes
that.
me happy.
I agree with
that.
This is a great one. Have you seen this one?
Oh yeah, I got that.
This one is incredible.
There it is.
Marriages for women to leave are often when they are married to husbands who are good guy presenting. And I want to explain this to you because these husbands, they don't yell, right? They don't cheat. They don't disappear. They show up when they're supposed to. They will help if you tell them exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it every single time, right? They're not necessarily abusive. They're not really chaotic. They're not necessarily scary and having, huge outbursts. They're literally just there. And I think for so many women, this is what makes it so hard to name and so hard to leave, because nothing is technically wrong, right? But nothing is deeply right either. Like, he doesn't proactively make your life easier. He doesn't anticipate your needs. He doesn't carry the mental labor with you. He just sits there waiting for instructions, like a puppy dog waiting for a command, right? And when you're exhausted and you're resentful and you're already drowning, this will make you feel like you're crazy, because you have friends whose husbands are way worse than that. You've seen the horror stories. You've seen the TikToks. You know that worse guys out there exist. And your husband isn't necessarily like that. He's a good guy, right? But good guy presenting isn't the same as being an engaged and invested and a participative partner. Bare minimum behavior wrapped in politeness is still bare minimum. And what makes it so fucking draining is that you can't point to one big thing. It's not like one big thing happened in your marriage. It's literally death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's that you're not considered without asking. You're never relieved from your duties without delegating to him first. You're never being prioritized without being prompted or reminded. And then you start wondering if you're crazy. You start wondering if you're asking for too much, wondering if you're just too hard to please, if you'll never be happy. But you're not asking for too much. You're not too hard to please. You are literally asking for partnership, but you're getting this passive participation, and you're being expected to tolerate it because it could always be worse.
No, so obviously fundamentally what she's saying is incorrect. What's going on here is that something that we've been pointing out for a while is that women keep saying we're leaving these husbands because they don't do their part of the emotional labor or whatever. The real answer is you don't feel the need to communicate, or that you should even have to communicate. This guy should just read your mind when it comes to all these different problems. You have a perfectly good husband and you want to leave him. 80% of divorces in this country are initiated by women, and it's because women are more picky. The divorce rate amongst lesbian women is higher than it is for gay men because women just would rather leave relationships. And she needs to figure out a way to leave her man without feeling shitty about it. So she made this video. No, you had a perfectly good husband. No, you are absolutely impossible to please. All the things that you're saying that aren't true are true. Oh, but he did the bare minimum. No, you being able to tell him what to do and him sitting there like a puppy dog. I'm sorry. That is your fault for being a bad communicator. And the fact that you want to leave your husband and somehow want absolution for those of us on TikTok who are watching your video, I'm not giving it to you. You are exactly what you're describing. You are impossible to please. You are crazy, and you're leaving a good man for no fucking reason because of propaganda that you see on social media. That's what's actually happening, in case you weren't aware.
Can I go back to what Rolo said?
Go ahead.
Yes.
He was talking about the state of happiness. And had she just been grateful and count her blessings, okay, he takes care of me, the house, the bills, maybe reassess and be thankful and be appreciative, then there's another state of happiness. And I would say, okay, be happy, but don't be content. Maybe same thing with her man. Maybe she was just always wanting more. She didn't settle, not necessarily settle, but had she just been grateful and appreciative, just like things in life, okay, I'm grateful, I'm happy, it brings a state of happiness, but I'm still going to be hungry. And maybe her and her husband or a significant other can be hungry and other things in life together.
Okay, there's a part that she said that is the most pernicious. And she says, he didn't anticipate my needs. Ladies, I don't receive that. It's called communication. You need to read Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. Communication is the responsibility of the sender. So many relationships end because women think that men are supposed to read their mind. Stop it. This was incredibly toxic what this woman said. He didn't anticipate my needs. Then say your fucking needs with your mouth. Then we don't have this issue. You left a perfectly good man and you want to go on TikTok and have us forgive you for what you're doing. No, it's as bad as it looks. You left a perfectly good man for no reason, and most likely because you were persuaded to do so because you saw some other woman on TikTok telling you to do so. No, you want absolution. You're not getting it from me. What do you think?
I actually think she has some points.
Okay.
So say that you and I been dating.
Mm-hmm.
We drink coffee every morning.
Nice.
Usually I go up
Black.
earlier and like I make the coffee. So if you get up earlier, I'm in bed. And you're like,
How many people are in bed with us?
I don't know. This
Minimum
time
of
it's only
4.
me.
Maximum 4.
Yes. Maximum 4.
It's another guy, me, and
Oh.
you have to leave because he's too close to you.
Okay, yes.
So, but
I'm
you
not
know,
getting
I
coffee.
drink coffee every morning.
Yeah, I believe that.
Do I need to tell you, like, can you make me a coffee? So if you're there in the morning, are you like, I wonder if you would like
Okay,
a
so
coffee?
here's the thing. If you tell me to make you coffee and you say I like it every morning, like I would with you.
All right.
I should need to tell you if I drink it every morning. We've been dating, say we've been
Right, but
we've
at
been
some
dating.
point you have communicated to me
Wait,
that
I
you
thought
drink
it
it
was
every
fine.
morning. The
Okay.
point is you did communicate to me that you drink it every morning.
But we've been living together for 6 months. You know, I drink coffee every
So
morning.
if I make you I'll make you the coffee. But I would
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
So
but I
you-
would do that for my guy friends too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not that what you're doing right now. Like we
Even to the guy
when I was
that's
when I,
sleeping
no
in
when I
bed
was
with
in
you.
when I was in the military, you might make a cup of coffee for some other airman who's in your unit. There's nothing weird
No,
about
but I'm
that.
just saying some needs you need.
Correct.
No, so like I had a guy in Sweden. He knew I loved Snickers. He goes to the gas station, puts gas in the car. He's like, I bet Puma would like a Snickers. He comes home with the Snickers.
Yes.
Hey, now I've been talking about a book or something. He's like, he ordered a book or he came home with the book. It's no, but some needs, I think you need to, you can't just, if I'm going to give you directions every time, I'm like, can you go and get the
No, I'm
car
not
washed?
I'm not talking about directions every time. I'm
Yeah.
talking about what she in her if we were to able to watch her relationship from a third party point of view, what she's expressing is that I have communicated this to him and he needs to anticipate my needs. But if we were to watch it, we would see she never communicated it to him. She legitimately wants fucking telepathy. That is because I've been in a lot of relationships, and I also talk to a lot of people who are marriage counselors. And the number one reason, ladies, if you don't know this, the reason why your relationship is going to end because you think he's supposed to fucking know. Stop it. You are not so special. You're not some princess where everybody has to read your mind. If you want, I can't hear it if you don't say it. And men being the ones asking for more communication, holy shit. How about that with your therapy speak? I'm asking for more communication. You need to communicate with me more. And if you have a problem with the fact that I didn't anticipate your needs, it's because you didn't say it. I can't imagine some
No,
06
but
in the Air
not-
Force, some colonel coming up to me being like, Captain Sartain, why didn't you anticipate my needs? Sir,
Where's my
Colonel,
coffee?
Colonel, where's the orders?
No, but there is something there. I don't remember what the book is called. It's like Women Are from Mars,
Mars,
or whatever.
Men Are
Venus.
from
Yes,
Venus.
No, but
Hokum
it-
by John
right,
Gray.
Yes, so
Hokum.
we're home.
It's called
You-
Hokum
you
by
just-
John Gray.
You just know, like these towels has been here. They need fucking washing. Most guys will have that towel up there. They will not put it or change bed clothing. It's like the last dish is gone. Well, fuck. Should I maybe do the dishwasher? The car need like I can't tell you like okay I washed the car last
Yeah,
time.
well, I mean-
Can you do? No, but sometimes you guys are like, well, everything is fine. Everything is right. Nobody's dying. Like
Okay.
Yeah, nobody's dying.
I gotta.
How
Okay.
about just asking for feedback? I'm
No
really
shit,
big on
yes.
feedback. I'm asking for criticism. Hey, is there anything that you like me to change or improve this week? Or hey, how am I doing as a girlfriend or even as a friend? You know, we're platonic friends. Like, hey,
checking
how am
in,
I
yeah.
doing as a
Well,
friend?
See,
What could I do for you as
I
a
think
friend
there's a like
or as a girlfriend?
whenever people ask me like Rolla, what do you look for like besides like sex and looking good, everything. Okay, once we're past that, like what are you looking for in a woman? I'm always, my first thing I go to is insight. Is
Mhm.
a woman who can sort of see what I'm about and say like I did this with Fresh from Fresh and Fit at one time. I said, has a woman ever given you a birthday present that was like something she picked up in a conversation? Like you didn't tell her, hey, I'm really into this thing, whatever it is, my hobby or whatever it is. And so your birthday rolls around and she gets you this present that has to do with that particular hobby that you've never had that discussion before, but she picked it up on you because she took the interest and she had the insight to go, I think he'd really like this. He doesn't know that I know that he likes this kind of thing or whatever the fuck it is, right?
butt plug.
And then, yes, and not a fish.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've got it in the back seat
Yeah.
just for you, Puma.
But,
I knew you were
it's-
coming,
but the
and I wanted to anticipate your needs.
But the idea is this: is that do you take an interest in that person to the point where it's like, okay, I know that this person is into the Raiders, right? So I'm going to go get them Raiders tickets or a jersey
Cool.
or some shit like that. so there's that sort of I don't say it's compassion, but it's like this insight into, you're so into that person that you know the details about them that they never even really discussed to you, but you're gonna go, okay, I know he'll like this for his birthday, kind of thing. And it was so sad because Fresh is like, no, I've never had a girl ever say
No,
anything
but hold on.
it's a,
I like
I was
that.
gonna say is that but I understand what you're saying. But I don't think that's what she's getting at. I get it, because like if you're making coffee, you're doing certain favors, you get into sort of this routine or this thing that's going on, especially when you've been married as long as I have. Like there's these routines that you do, and you already know, you can sort of anticipate what's going to happen in there. Then there's the other things that are just like, hey, the lawn looks like it's getting kind of long, why don't you go basically hint, it's the passive aggressive, like go out and fucking mow the lawn kind of thing. But it's another thing if you're already doing it and you're already on top of it before you even need to be asked. And that, I think, is where she's going with this. But the problem with that is she's in a state right now where she's unhappy or thinks she's unhappy. She's looking for reasons to get out of the relationship.
Yes, that's my point. This is all cope.
It's all
I'm not saying what you're saying
rationale.
isn't right.
Yeah.
I would anticipate if you
bullshit
told me you
rationale.
wanted something, and I would anticipate your needs every once in a while. That is not what she's talking about. She's just looking for a reason
looking for an
to
exit.
leave a good guy. And the other thing is, what if he's providing, he's putting food on the table? Like, for instance, am I always the one to clean everything in my apartment? No, but I have a housekeeper who does. So do I not get credit for hiring the housekeeper with the money that I made? Or do I need to be, it needs to be me sweeping up all this shit? No, this is ridiculous. I'm just so, because I see this all the time. Hold on, I'm going to say this real quick. Ladies are leaving perfectly good men. I will debate anyone on this. This bullshit about these women are leaving men because these men are not keeping their side of the household chores, and they're not keeping taking the emotional load and carrying the emotional load for the relationship. Stop it. That is not what's happening. Women are just leaving perfectly good men because of bullshit they see on social media. Period. I will argue with this with anyone. Relationships, good relationships, are being ruined by bullshit like Derek Jackson and Chris GQ Perry talking about, you can tell that your man's cheating on you because of a dream you had or because of a shift in the energy in the room. Get the fuck out of here. This is the problem. All of this shit about, oh my God, these men are not keeping up their end of the bargain. Stop it. I've talked to several divorce attorneys and they say the same thing. That is exactly what I'm saying. Women, I'm not saying there aren't shitty dudes. They're definitely shitty dudes. I'm saying is, for the most part, women are leaving perfectly good men because of what they're seeing on social media.
Because perfect is the enemy of good.
Yes.
And that's really where this goes. And you can use that as an exit for damn near anything. So if it's like, well, he's not meeting my needs. Well, I'm not happy. And when you live in an era of no fault divorce, that's all it takes. That's all you need is just like some kind of rationale to bug out. Like, I don't even think you don't.
No
I don't know
one's
if
perfect. You just gotta pick your poison.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, there's going to be, when you're in a relationship, especially a long relationship, when you're in a long relationship, there's going to be that routine. There's going to be, you're going to understand what the other person's about, right? Like what you were saying, like, oh, can you just like put the towel over here? Or, well, see, the thing is like, I had to actually look this up. Did you know that, and this is an evolutionary biological fact, that women have a better sense of smell than men do?
Yes.
Do you believe that? Why would that be? Because women have to smell for the pathogens, right?
Yes.
They have to, if it smells rank, like I can be in the backyard and we were watching our dogs run around. And my wife's like, I smell weed. Like I smell like, because somebody
evolutionarily,
I don't smell.
Evolutionarily,
like
women procured more food for children than men did. So yes, their ability to smell would be better.
So they have a better sense of smell. So it's like, how else does that translate into sort of like, okay, go take the towel and put it over here, put your, stop wearing those pants and put it in the wash, whatever else, that kind of stuff. I think a lot of that has to do with the sort of propensity or the proclivities for women to want to maintain a living space that is probably a little bit more, let's see, antibacterial than a guy, because guys, first of all, we don't smell and we don't think it's that as big a deal, but women do, because there's a possibility that you have a child and maybe that some kind of pathogen is there. Maybe you don't want to, it's this revulsion response, or it's like, we don't want snakes and spiders to get into the baby's crib kind of thing, right? So you want to protect that, even if there's no baby at all. It's just that sense that there's got to be that. Of course, then what fucks all of this up is when you see those pictures of these guys, of these women's like bathrooms, and it's like nothing but this big clusterfuck of like makeup and deodorant and hairspray and everything else, and you didn't put the toilet seat up. You know, it's but like I honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that women have a sort of a biological evolutionary sort of propensity anyways to want to be maybe a little bit more hygienic than guys do in some ways.
Makes sense.
Maybe that's weird.
You know, I was going to say, in terms of communication, men are simple creatures. Just tell them. But I would always ask for feedback first. Like, hey, is there anything that I can do to help you and your goals? And I would actually have Q1 and Q2 like assessments of each other and our goals, and like mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, what our goals are every quarter. And then on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, just ask, how am I doing? How am I doing as a girlfriend? How am I doing as a friend to you?
Put one in the chat if you're ready to date Stephanie. Put one in the chat if you're the one. You're the one who could change her. You're the one who can fix everything. Put a one in the chat if you're ready.
I would ask first, hey, what can I do to help you? And then like, they'll think back, be like, you know, maybe this and this. And that I would say, then they would usually accept the same thing. How can I help you? What can I do to help you or change? Be like, you know, when you make coffee, can you make me coffee too? It would mean a lot. Oh,
I saw this one video. It was just a real quick, I think it was a reel or something on Instagram. Some chick was talking about how great it was or how hot it would be like if they had a man who like actually got stuff done that needed to get done without having to be asked, like just doing it anyways. I'm like, yeah, I can understand why you would think that, but then it would become normal and it would become like routine and you wouldn't appreciate it because he's just doing what he's supposed to fucking do, right?
Men are so simple. In fact, I just keep like a honey to-do list on the fridge, and anytime you just put it on the list,
give a gold star.
Or you don't even have to do that. Whatever. It's like, I mean, I understand guys should already know if you're going to have like traditional roles in a marriage or a relationship like that. If you're going to say that guys need to go and do like my message to this chick, if you're going to say that guys need to be able to read your mind or go and do these things, fine, but you should also read my mind and you should also know what the fuck what I need before I have to ask it. Why is it always a one-way street when it comes to this? You don't see, there's no guys on TikTok going, you know what? She's a great chick, but she should know that I really want to, have hot monkey sex on Fridays and not on Thursdays. And God, what do I got to do to get a perfect woman? She's kind of good, but then I see these other chicks on Instagram and everything, and they seem much more perfect than my guy is, but or maybe they're worse. But what perfect is the enemy of good. Imagine a guy basically saying the same thing, just flip the script. Those. You get banned on TikTok.
This survey's been done. I forgot the guest that was on Scott Galloway's podcast, and it was a lady who worked at a dating app company, and she was saying we did a survey and we asked men what percentage of you would be happy with an 80% solution, meaning you have 80% of everything you want in a partner, like and then they asked women how happy would you be with a man who's 80% of everything you wanted in a partner. 75% of men said that they would be happy with a woman who was 80% of everything they wanted. 25% of women said that they would be happy with a man who was 80% of what they wanted. One more time. I'm down. Dude, call them out for me. Bring them out. I will debate anyone on this. Women are leaving perfectly good men for nothing. That's what's happening most of the time right now.
But isn't that also what's been like put out? Like if you look back at 40s, 50s, women stayed home with kids. They didn't have a job. They took care of the kids. And all of a sudden women are working. I want my own income. I'm not going to be dependent on you. And then you leave. Like it happened to my mom and dad. My mom stayed home. My dad worked. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I found somebody else. And then that's my mom. Like I worked as a cleaning lady 4 hours.
I'm
just saying that it's changing that like now women have job. They make same salaries. I have the opportunity.
You're Scandinavian.
I'm not saying that's the full extent of it.
You're Scandinavian. Actually, it's more prevalent in Norway, Sweden, Finland for women to make more money than men under the age of 30. It's actually further along there than it is anywhere in the world. Where you are from is the most egalitarian place in the entire world. And women want men who make even more money than them. Even in Sweden, they do that. It's like there's no way to solve this. It's this black hole, this like pit, this never-ending pit.
No, but in Sweden, we actually have a really fun word. It's called jämlik. It means equal. So like here, if I go out with guys, like we go out, and it goes without saying, I don't know you guys, but the guys pay.
Yes.
It just goes like I even offer, because I'm from Sweden. I'm like, I want to pay my part.
Yeah.
And every guy goes, no, like the girls don't pay. If you go to Sweden, the guys will go like, okay, so you had that and you had drinks.
They're itemizing everything.
No, but no, you go out. My sister is single. She ran some date and they went for a beer. And the guy is like, well, are you going to sell me your beer? Like, no, but everything is equal. I did the dishes. Yeah. And it's part of me. I'm like, well, I did the dishes yesterday. Today, Denise, it's like I have it a little bit in me, but it's very like in Sweden. It needs to be very equal. I pay half, you pay half, you have your money, I have my money. It's not like, oh, we go out and I assume the guys pay.
And let me get to these super chats real quick. This was for you, Mike. Mike, how did Kay fumble MTS after she made his entire career?
You want to know something? This is how crazy it was. So I made the video responding to Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion breaking up. By the way, Klay Thompson told Megan Thee Stallion that he didn't want to be monogamous. I have still not seen any proof at all that he cheated on her. I think she just said he cheated. I think when he came up to her and said, hey, I don't want to be monogamous, she intuited that he cheated, but I don't know that he actually cheated. The idea, we actually took like lifetime Google trend searches of both of their names, and it's like there's like 4 or 5 different periods where Klay Thompson is actually more popular than Megan Thee Stallion. It has to do with like during the NBA finals. The idea that Megan Thee Stallion made Klay Thompson a global superstar is just a lie. I will embarrass any of you who want to come on YouTube and have this problem. Is she more famous than Klay? Yes. Should Klay have broken up with her? Klay should have never dated her in the first place. Klay can get anybody he wants. For him to get somebody who's that chaotic and loud and just crazy, and then for her to then say, hey, I'm so confused, for women to be confused why a woman like that would get left is just madness to me. I just, all the 6'6" guys who make $180 million, you think you deserve those men, and just not the way it works.
Okay.
I
got this other one here.
Go ahead.
Mike, I've been going through a breakup a week. LOL, should I take a break with dating?
I think you should look at what we do as far as dating. I think you should start throwing events and bringing twice as many girls as guys to these events, and then just having women see other women interact with you, and then just sort of give your attention to whoever's there and get to know everyone and learn how to become social, and then see who's interested in you. Way better way of finding a partner than going on dates from dating apps.
Last one. I don't know what that currency is. I think it's just attention to small details, like, hey, I was out and I remember you, like Diet Coke, so I got you one. Or you can have the fresh wine, I'll take the older one. Being proactive as far as like knowing what to do.
This one is a perfect segue.
Okay, this is which one? Oh God. Okay,
perfect segue.
From
Sweden.
How's dating in Sweden?
Well, they kind, but they maybe not be so masculine.
Oh, they're not as masculine?
No, I don't want to like.
see, all of Sweden, all the men of Sweden were like, "How dare you? How dare you talk like that about us?"
All the guys I've dated, they're like, "What?"
What do you mean by like masculine? Like how they act or like how they look?
No, how they act.
Which countries do you find in Europe or just in the world in general that the men for you are just like they come off more masculine?
Actually, in France.
Really, in France?
Okay. But I feel also in the Balkan.
Okay.
Yeah. In Sweden, we have worked really hard for equality between like the sexes, which is really great. But I think this has led to also that men shouldn't be treating their woman, or they shouldn't, open the door for a woman because now we're equal.
Yeah.
It almost comes down to such things, and I find it more when I have dated guys from other countries. They are way more
chivalrous.
Yeah, they're more romantic in that sense.
Yeah. So you like almost like a more traditional chivalrous kind of person, like a guy.
Yeah, more traditional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you think?
Sweden.
Yeah,
Sweden, give it to us.
No, but she is correct. It's like you don't need to open my door. I'm capable of doing it myself. And like I said, splitting the bill. I don't assume you're gonna play. It's like
But do you like when a guy does open the door for you? Do you like when a guy goes, no, I got this. I got the check. Take care of it. I'm gonna take care of you. I got the check. It's all good. Is that okay with you?
I don't expect it because I'm fully.
But is it
capable
nice? But
of
is it nice?
that.
Is it a nice? Is it pleasant
It's
for you when a
nice,
guy
but I
picks it
also
up?
know a guy expects it. Like I've been on dates. It's like I never had a woman pay for me. Like when I've been in America, I went out in LA. It's like I never had a girl grab a check for me or pay for it. It's like I'm always paying, and I'm like, I'll grab it.
Boom, what is your dating life like? I have to know. Please.
No,
How would a guy like I could come because I saw you at AVN. I'm sure there's a fucking million guys who are trying to ask you out, but you're not going to say yes to that. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you would. I don't know.
no, but it's always awkward moments. And we were saying, like, I don't remember exactly what you brought up, like what's important, like in a relationship. And the ones I fall for, it's a little bit nuts and would be like, we would pray there on the floor of AVN, and I'm like, whip your dick out. Like
Okay.
I will never lose the fucking dare. And a guy that will fucking do it and then give me a crazier back, I'm like, you're gonna get double crazy back. And then somebody that makes me laugh, that has humor, doesn't take themselves too fucking seriously.
So he has to have humor and pull his dick out just randomly.
Yeah. I want to see what I'm getting.
What is the
later.
pull? What is the pull the dick out
Randomly.
ratio for guys that you dated?
It ended up in a newspaper in Sweden. I was out with a pretty famous guy in Sweden, and we're fucking drunk, and we stopped playing there.
And he's in jail, and you're free.
And I'm like, jump up on the fucking bar desk, whip your dick out, because I heard he had a really big one. And he's drunk, so he does it, and it's in the newspaper the next day in Sweden. And then he says, he's like,
Sounds like
well,
Sweden.
dress your clothes off, so I'm there naked on my dance floor. My friend says, he's like, I'm fucking leaving. But I'm like, he's like, I don't give a shit about showing my dick, but seeing you naked on the dance floor, he's like, it was worth it.
There you go. And then you guys fell in love.
My Viking
Now we're
brothers,
fuck
what has
buddies.
happened? What has happened to us?
No, but it just fucking having fun, being confident in yourself, and you can make a fool of yourself, like not taking yourself too seriously.
So be weird.
Be weird.
Be weird.
I like slightly weird.
Got it.
Yeah.
Goofballs.
I believe
Got it.
that.
Yep. I got it. What about you, Steph? What do you look for in a guy? Like, what's you want a guy that's gonna whip his dick out randomly?
Probably not.
Be in the
I mean,
Venetian.
like,
He goes, here you go.
everyone has their own minds, just like, I don't know where to start, just like level-headed, emotionally stable,
Yeah, you two are not stepping on each other's dicks at all.
No,
You two are not
no.
competing
I'm
for the
fine.
same men at
At
all.
the same time, like we're talking about sex earlier or companions, like I'm so confident. I don't care if he has sex with another girl in the other room. Like I truly don't care. You can have 2-3 women, and it's just, but for me and my person, just like it's that connection where I have your back, he has my back, and I'm honestly, I'm pretty solid. I can actually talk things out, and I'm okay with stepping away from an argument. I need someone that's capable of doing that doesn't let their emotions get the best of them. That to me, how you take on an argument. I mean, it's fair. Like between me and you, or you and anybody else, tells me a lot about you, or how you pursue anything tells me a lot about you. So you are who you surround yourself with, and that person I'm with is going to be a huge factor in my life. So that's why I'm very selective on who I'm with, because
Okay.
Go ahead.
Healthy, boring men. Go ahead and reach out to her. Reach out to Stephanie
I want to
Fry.
ask, so
Oh.
sex on the first date then? So you go on a date and like,
I think
would
it just
you-
depends where it goes and how we flow.
But
But
you-
yes,
okay,
I'm open to it.
okay,
Yes.
cool.
Are you open to sex on the first date?
I know
No,
every fucking
no.
bathroom and every
3
fucking club in
men.
Sweden, like the private one, in the clubs in LA, like I get horny. I don't have time to waste because I can pull somebody else home. I'll just fuck you here in the bathroom, and then I'll go scout the rest.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
awesome. There we
yeah.
go. We've solved all the problems here.
Sounds like a whole.
I don't think you have SSRI
Yes,
sexual
you
dysfunction.
do not need any antidepressants.
I need to tone down the testosterone.
All right, here you go.
This is wild. Listen.
Fuck, man. I think about it sometimes and I'm like, my life would be so much easier if I just liked nice guys, right? If I liked guys who were honest, guys who were kind, generous, thoughtful man who's gonna bring me flowers or something. I don't know. I liked guys who just went out of their way and thought about me. The bare minimum. If I just liked guys who gave me the bare minimum, that would be fucking awesome. But I am a little bit more below than that, right? I like liars. I do. I'm going to admit it. I like men who are assholes. Men who are going to treat me like shit. I do. I like men who are going to go out of their way to make me jealous. And then they come back and I'm like, babe, why'd you do that?
Even if a guy is fucking amazing, like great, everything they have, check all the boxes, good looking, they're emotionally intelligent, they're emotionally available, they treat you right, they buy you things, they're nice to you, they're really good to you. All the things, it can still not feel right.
I like to feel something because I'm a pretty happy person, pretty peaceful person on my own. So when I have a guy come in and fuck up my life and make me feel something, I'm like, I love this. I love this. This is so shitty and great. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I didn't ask for this life.
Guys,
Maybe ask that after you have
don't
kids.
go out your
Like, I'm
way
too old for this.
to
Maybe you're
impress
too
these
old for
women.
this. Like we're all,
Be
let's just
yourselves
know.
and let everything else follow. Stop.
Okay, so here's the thing. This woman and the woman who said about leaving the good guy, they're the same woman. This is two sides of the same coin. This right here is actually what the other woman was describing. This woman is being honest and saying, I don't like the good guy. I do respect her honesty. What I see, what I witness and intuit from my experience with my 4,500 clients doing this for 18 years as a coach is way closer to what that woman said about, I don't like nice guys, bare minimum, whatever stuff, honesty, whatever she's saying. What she actually means is men who don't have boundaries. And what the other woman saying about it's really hard to leave a man who doesn't do anything wrong, they're the same. They're describing the same exact phenomenon. And one more time, I'm going to say this for the 15th time. Women are leaving perfectly good men behind for no reason. And this is the reason why. It's because something in them has said, well, I need to feel something all the time. Why do you need to feel something all the time? I'll tell you why. Ready? Here's why. Ready? Swipe, 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 swipe. This is why you need to feel something all the time. Women under the age of 30 are the first generation to go through puberty with a cell phone. Swipe, swipe. I need to feel something all the time. He doesn't make me feel something. Swipe, 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 swipe. So you don't feel anything, so swipe him away. Next guy, next guy, next guy, next. This is why now you're incapable of having a healthy relationship with a guy who treats you well. And I've had to deal with this before where I've gone out with a girl and I'm dealing with the trauma she deals with from her ex. And it's like, it almost scares her how honest I am, because I have no reason to not be honest. Because if it didn't work out between you and me, I don't have trouble meeting new women. So I don't have any trouble being totally on that. And usually I date bisexual women. We hit on women together. But like, I have no trouble being totally honest with the women that I date. And a lot of times they're not used to that. And so now they're having an experience of being in a healthy relationship, and it scares them. Swipe, swipe, swipe. That's it. It's just your addiction to the swiping that's caused this problem.
But isn't it so nice to have your nervous system regulated and calm? Like, why would you want to rock the boat that way?
But I still think most women do, especially like really attractive women. They have this issue because they're more
trauma bond.
Well, women use social media more than men, and women are. You want to sit down?
Come on in.
Hey, Puma.
Plus one.
Puma's your biggest fan.
Yeah. I'm like, I was bummed. I'm like, where is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rolling in. Let me. This reminded me. Well, first of all, before I get started here, I want to point out one thing. Is the chick before who was talking about how she had a good enough guy, but not a good enough guy, and this girl right here was talking about how she needs a man to come in, just be and fuck up her life and everything else. None of those girls are part of the manosphere. They're basically confirming everything I've ever written. They're basically confirming everything that has been pretty much hashed out and discussed for the last, 10, 12, 20 plus years. And you know what? When the chicks say it on TikTok, inside their fucking cars, or on Call Her Daddy or whatever else, that's not the manosphere. That's fucking what? Alex Cooper. That's not Rollo Tomasi. That's Alex Cooper.
The leading
They're
voice.
not doing, the leading voice.
The leading voice in the manosphere is Alex Cooper,
Cooper,
the host of Call Her Daddy.
Confirming
Yes.
24 plus years of the rational male, confirming everything we talk about in the manosphere. So I don't want to hear jack shit from the British. If I have to listen to another fucking British accent telling me what the manosphere is and that it's a bunch of grifters grabbing and filching money out of people's pockets and shit like that. No, you know who's going to who's going to lead the most amount of men to the red pill, right? It's not the manosphere. It's Alex Cooper. It's these chicks. It's millions of TikTok videos every fucking day confirming exactly what we've been saying forever. So I'm done with your bullshit, talking shit about the manosphere, talking shit about him, talking shit about me, talking shit about Myron, talking shit about anybody else. Guess what? We're not the ones you need to worry about radicalizing guys. It's Alex Cooper, okay? So just shut the fuck up. All right. Now here's what I was going to get back to is this. This reminded me, this thing right here where she's talking about how she needs sort of this chaos in her life. By the way, it's also something I've heard on Call Her Daddy from, was it Blake? It was Blake? Oh no, it was
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson who was saying how she needed a chaos in her life. Reminded me of this section here that I've actually quoted on a few times. This is what I call this is a little blurb that I wrote a long time ago. It's called the roller coaster. Okay, so what this is these women don't want to build a better beta male. They want to tame an alpha. In fact, they want the former. They think that the former is just another way they are trying to approach the latter. They want to take an inherently unsafe activity and make it safe. They want to submit to a man without having to submit to him. They want a man who can tame their feral self, but they want him to trip the danger signals. Even better if he's a stranger from a strange land. They want this all to happen without giving up their freedom. They want to play this out in the context of serial monogamy so they can feel loved while also claiming that their promiscuity is moral. They want to lose control to a string of strangers who have all the hallmarks very dangerous men, and they want the promise that it'll always turn out well. They want to know that this will be safe without losing excitement of it feeling unsafe. They are telling men to build a sort of serial monogamy amusement park where they can ride the roller coaster and experience the fear of falling or crashing while knowing that just behind the scenes are grown-ups that are actually in charge and are responsible for them feeling safely unsafe. One more thing. As I mentioned above, they don't want to be hemmed in. So instead of building an actual amusement park, they want the roller coasters to spring up randomly in the same exact circumstances where the real danger that they would mimic would appear in nature. They want to be driving their cars on a freeway one instant, and then the next experience the fear of careening out of control the next. They want to impulsively jump off the edge of the Grand Canyon and have the parachute appear and deploy at the last minute, and all they ask of you is you guarantee that it will all be safe. That's the danger. That's the chaos. This is also why I keep saying whenever somebody, God, I'm so sick of this. Guys are like, I need a woman who's going to be my peace. Fuck you. There is no peace. No woman is ever going to bring you
no
peace.
peace.
I just
Stop
don't
looking
feel like
no
that's
peace.
a lot to
Learn
ask
to
for.
thrive
That's
in the
not too
chaos.
much to ask for.
Learn to thrive in the chaos.
Wait, for the man to ask for peace?
No, for the woman to expect those things. The man can ask for peace whether or not he gets it.
Wait, so the woman should expect to be treated and thrown around and treated like a ruffian.
But in the end,
it's safe.
Exactly.
In the end, it's safe.
Safely unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, 50 Shades of Grey did so well for what reason? Hello.
Because it's fiction.
Safely
That's why it did so well.
unsafe.
But if you make fiction, nonfiction, come on, be that guy.
Yes,
Make it our
absolutely.
reality.
Guys, all of you billionaires out there with 10-inch penises, make sure that you only have sex with one woman for all 3 books. That's fiction. That's what that's called. All right, here we go. Do you have this one?
And it's all just for you.
Yeah,
The sex dungeon. I've been waiting for you my whole life to get this
She
thing
was
going.
a virgin. Okay?
Fire this
so
thing
you
up.
got something out of it. Like,
It was so ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous premise for a book. Go ahead.
Nothing. Only
You want to talk about radicalizing men? This is what radicalizes men right here.
Oh, it's 95%.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on.
62 million men in the U.S. It's actually way more than that. I'm talking about the number of men in the U.S. committing sexual assault. And since you're all suddenly obsessed with the numbers, boy, do I have some numbers for you. Because this study shows that 32%, or just under 1/3 of college-aged men who were asked, admit they would rape a woman if they thought they could get away with it.
If you guys think that this lady stopped at 32%, sorry to disappoint you. Later, she shows research according to which, in her interpretation, 63.5% of men commit sexual assault. And as you know, appetite comes with eating, so she pretty much ends her video with a claim that 95.1% of men do it. 95.1%. At this point, might as well say 100%. But if you want to break down her claims, we need to approach them one step at a time. So let's concentrate on the first claim, that according to her interpretation of the study, 32%, or just under 1/3 of college-aged men who were asked, admit they would RAPE a woman if they thought they could get away with it. And I believe she makes this claim to show that this 32% is applicable to the whole US adult male population. The study that she bases her claim on is Denying RAPE but Endorsing Forceful Intercourse, Exploring Differences Among Responders by Sarah Edwards, Catherine Bradshaw, and Verlyn Hintz, published in Violence and Gender in 2014. So yes, this is a legitimate, peer-reviewed psychology paper. The problem is that it is exploratory, small scale, and very limited in generalizability. First, this study was not designed to measure how many men would commit RAPE. It was designed to test something different: how people respond when you change the wording of a question. When the word RAPE is used, most people say no. When the similar behavior is described without that label, more people say yes. Second, this is a hypothetical, consequence-free scenario. No legal risk, no social consequences. Completely self-reported. Now, to be clear, hypothetical questions are not useless. They can tell us how people think, what attitudes they have, but they are not exactly designed to measure real-world behavior. They can measure how people respond to extreme abstract questions. To understand why this plays a role, imagine you ask 10 of your friends an extremely hypothetical question: whether they would fight Conor McGregor, and 5 of your friends said, sure, I would kick his ass. You can't then go and seriously claim that your survey shows that 5 out of 10 adult men in America would kick Conor McGregor's ass. And third, the study was done on 86 college students. 86, Carl! That is tiny for making broad claims about men or society. To actually make such claims, you would usually need multiple studies with 1,000+ participants tested across different groups of people, not just one small group of students. So I hope you can now see why applying that 32% to the entire US male population just doesn't hold up. And I hope you guys now can understand better how some influencers manipulate and misinterpret studies to make ridiculous claims like more than 62 million men in the US are RAPE women sound based and factual. In my opinion, such practices are quite dangerous, and they actually hurt the very cause these influencers are supposedly trying to defend.
Okay, I made a video debunking the whole 62 million men thing recently, but the videos that are incorrect, scientifically incorrect, get 100x more views than my video debunking it. I just don't, like, at this point, I just don't know how you can, like, again, the problem is this. If I were to sit there and I were to say something that is dangerous and factually inaccurate, they put a note. Sometimes they put a user note, or they take my content down. This depends on what platform you're going to get a user note. If it's on X, if it's on Instagram, you might get your whole platform taken down, your whole account taken down. When these unscientific claims come out about men, I'm telling you, there's still right now, while we're speaking, thousands of videos saying that 62 million men joined an RAPE academy, and it's not true. And no one does anything. It's so maddening to me. And so here's the problem. When you do this and you lie about stuff like this, you belittle the people who are actually victims. Getting the numbers correct, there was 900 guys in a Telegram group. That's actually what the story was about. Getting the numbers correct does not belittle the victims. It actually clarifies the pain that they went through. And so exaggerating, say, what I'm going to say is I'm going to exaggerate the number of men willing to commit SA so that I can get more clicks on TikTok. That is sociopathic. I'm sorry. This woman, her saying 95% of men are rapists. Are you kidding me? Why is this account still around? Why does that video not get taken down? And the reason why is because it's a massive double standard. If you guys want to go check right now, right while we're talking, even today, go on Apple Podcast, and you can subscribe to a podcast called Kill All Men. Yes, you can. You can subscribe to it right now. Now, I'm not even going to say the opposite name. Kill All. I'm not going to say the opposite gender because I would lose my YouTube. I would lose my YouTube. I would lose my Instagram for even saying that name. And it's still up right now. And you guys, if you guys go on my Instagram, you guys can see I just put out a video explaining there's this one-to-one correlation. The more exposure that women have to social media, the more they hate men. And I'm sorry, when you see this crap, I don't understand how you can come up with any other hypothesis. By the way, men, 72% of men under 30 have a positive view of women. Only 7% of men have a negative view of women. Under the age of 25, 35% of women have a positive view of men. 21% of women have an extremely negative view of men.
Are you talking about America now?
This was actually a British study.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a British study that did this. So anyway, I just want to bring that up. If you want to talk about the radicalization of men, just watch Call Her Daddy, listen to women basically say the exact same things that we're saying, and then just listen to these unscientific claims, get hundreds of thousands and millions of views. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. There's a woman out there who made a claim that men who do not commit SA and grape actually benefit from those men who do. It's called the patriarchy dividend. There's no science to support that. My video refuting that got 1,000 likes. Her video making that ridiculous statement got 100,000 likes.
We're just going to have to get Alex Cooper to do your video on her. She'll be all novel, and then you'll get the message out because nobody else will listen to it.
I mean, I'm at this point, I think Alex Cooper just has an intern who copies what we say and then asks questions on her show.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Anything else you want to go over?
Yeah, I got one that I have to put this out. Okay. Just because. Okay. So I did a show.
Time out real quick. Do either of you guys think 95% of men are grapists?
I would not say grapists. I would say there's a huge CNC culture, consent, non-consent, right? That's kind of like, I think that is
move to your right about 1 foot.
Yes.
About 1 foot.
Yep.
Full foot.
Yep.
Okay.
Close.
Is that too far?
Yeah, she actually is a huge fan of yours. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
Oh, I love it. I love it. No, I think that CNC is like a really big culture right now, but that is far from SA in general. You know, I think that anyone can really understand that, but it is really unfortunate when people go online and they actually belittle what true survivors have been through. It's actually funny. I saw a video recently talking about a contraption that was actually a patent that's coming back around, and it goes like inside the female, and it's supposed to be if there's some sort of like forced entry that it like clamps down on that tissue. And so basically the person that was discussing this on their TikTok was saying, oh my goodness, wow, well guys, if you don't want your, you know, clapped, maybe we should keep each other accountable. Come on, men, like keep each other accountable. The fact that women have to resort to this is crazy, that they would put this in their body, this would come back around. And at first I thought it wasn't legitimate, but I did a little research and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually a patented contraption to go inside of another human being. Like that's crazy. But she was bringing it up in a way where I think it's funny that all of these videos, not funny, but ironic that they would all start surfacing at the same time. I don't really think that that is coincidental, but I don't think it's nearly as big of an issue as 95%. And that comes from someone having experienced and been around that her entire life. Yeah.
Stephanie, you got to move to your left, Stephanie.
I was going to ask, where are they getting these stats from?
It's
very large.
It's a number of, so the first study that showed that 32% of men, by the way, when those same men were asked the actual word RAPE, they all said no. They asked the same question in a different context, and 32% of them said yes. They were kind of tricked into it by words. And by the way, this is all hypothetical. It's not to say that there isn't an issue there, but that doesn't make those men that doesn't make those men grapists because they answered the question that way. She's extrapolated 86 college students to mean all the 1/3 of the American male population. Utter and complete nonsense. I don't know how she got to 95%. I can't. I have a little too much intellect to actually watch her video in full, so I don't know how she got to that number. But I just think, that's the whole thing. But it wasn't just her. There's other people who have made these just ridiculous claims about 1/3 of the American male population are grapists. It's just unbelievable.
We all know. We just take it with a grain of salt. I just move on.
I mean, I wish it was like that, but I do think is having an effect on women. I really do think. Okay, let me ask the three of you guys a question. Really, a question real quick. In the last 35 years, the amount of RAPE and sexual assault in the last 35 years, has it gone up or down, stayed the same? What do you think, Puma?
Gone up.
It's gone up. What do you think?
I would say the same. Gone up.
Gone up. What do you think, Harper?
I would say that it's gone up, but also keep in mind who would have reported, years ago. Think about it. It's become more of a open culture and people trying to encourage
people
others.
Encouraging others to yes.
People that have stayed quiet in the past, I believe now have a platform to come forward more confidently. So it's kind of hard to say, has it gone up? But I would say yes in general, but I think also domestic violence in general and like the mental and verbal abuse is something that's even more prevalent than SA.
It's gone down 58%. We are currently at the point of the lowest amount of SA and grape in recorded human history, and the same thing for domestic violence. It has never been this low. There's no data that reports anything other than that. 58% decline. The reason you believe what you believe is because of what you see on social media. I'm not saying it isn't a problem. It's still a massive problem. I think it's I think it's 12 out of every 100,000 people. I can't remember what the number is right now, but the idea that it's gone up is preposterous. Since 1991, we're in the middle of the crack epidemic, where that was the high point, I believe, over the last 50 years, and then it's dropped 58% since then.
Wait, so you're talking about America again? I'm gonna Google this number.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweden.
For sure.
I'm curious. Yeah, do you think that there's like more? I hate to use
Sweden's
the
going to have
phrase
extremely
crime
low
book,
numbers because you guys don't have mass immigration. Go ahead.
but at the same time, do you think there's some false accusations out there? Because if I were to sit into a room and look at everyone around, how many people know someone affected by SA, either personally or a friend or a family member? Yeah. So the fact that I could sit into a room and almost every single person could raise a hand to that,
For sure.
it's a little concerning. Either
Right, but I'm saying, but it is, yeah, no, for sure. Well, here's the thing. Here's the other part of it, right? When it comes to statistics, the probability of you dying by getting killed by a drunk driver is less than 1%. But my father was killed by a drunk driver 20 years ago. So that stat doesn't mean anything to me. If you're actually a victim of SA, and I tell you that it's gone down 58%, you still have the right to feel unsafe. I'm not saying you don't. My question is, why do you feel more unsafe when the world is actually more safe by every possible metric? And the answer is swipe.
But it's the same thing with like starvation and people being poor.
But also 30 years ago, females felt like they didn't have a voice or a platform or a say. They felt
well that would actually cause them to report more SA now than back then.
Now
you're actually you're proving my point.
You're right. The stat today versus the stat over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we can't track a real stat.
It's more likely that women wouldn't have reported it 35 years ago than today. It's more likely. And the number was still 58% higher.
So we don't know the real number back then.
Well, it was probably higher than what it is now, and the drop was even greater. But like, there's multiple data sets show that it's been a massive drop in the amount that's happening. Yet, whenever we ask women, they always say the numbers have gone up, but they haven't gone up. Why do you believe that? A lot of women are like,
because more awareness.
In Sweden, they have.
I think more awareness.
I got to look at the last 35 years. The amount of SA has gone up in Sweden.
I think it's also important to distinguish the fact that a lot of women resonate with SA, meaning something that is horrifically violent, and not all SA comes out to be that sort of circumstance, right? Not everyone experiences something that is completely violent and like just a big news story, basically, right? Sometimes it's as simple as, hey, I said no and I didn't fully disengage from this, but this was not a welcomed environment and it happened. And so women then feel embarrassed, like, oh, or maybe they're in a line of work where they felt like it was acceptable, but not something they were comfortable with, and they don't know how to discuss it. Bottom line, I think, especially now with everything that has come about between AI and different online social media platforms, communication is key. Always knowing, your partner and what you guys are both comfortable with.
I was going to say, you were just talking about like CNC, consent from non-consent. Because I was just watching, and she's been making the rounds, but Dr. Deborah So, one of the things she was saying about, or I don't know if this is in her book, in the Sextinction book, but it probably is. But she was talking about the rise in popularity of choking during sex, right?
Absolutely.
And of course, she has to bring it back around and say, well, it's because men like to watch choking in pornography. And so the girls feel like they got to go and give it up to give the choking thing. And
even Harper's saying, no, it's so obviously that this is wrong.
Have you seen those videos?
England just forbid it.
Have you seen those videos on like Instagram?
Yeah,
where the girl's running around and like the guy goes like this and she goes out like up to. So here's the thing the thing that gets me is like, I don't have a doctorate. I'm not Dr. Rollo Tomasi, right? She's Dr. Deborah. So I would presume she already knows this shit, but she's not talking about this. But the thing is that I even have the stats right here. So sexual choking is surprisingly prevalent among young adults, with women reporting a greater desire to be choked.
Absurd. It's just absurd.
Yeah, but this was just forbidden in England.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I say, here's the next one. Okay. Pornography featuring violence against women is also extremely popular among women. It is by far the popular amongst women, more popular amongst women than it is with men. I hate saying that because misogynists are going to love this fact, because fantasy life isn't always politically correct. And then the last one is this is like this year, a new study interviewed 302 adults. Of those, more women enjoyed aggression in porn, aroused by portrayals of porn, and reported wanting to see more aggressions in pornography. women, Dr. Deborah So, please, I love you. I'm not taking anything away from you, but react to me. Like, do your homework here, because I'm this manosphere guy. What the fuck do I know, right? I have access to the same information that you do. But the thing is women, what's the meme where it's like the car, what, the rear view mirror or the side view mirror is like this close to the wall, and it's like how rough she likes it, and then the wall is like domestic violence. That's how close, right?
No, I usually say there's a time and place for everything. Like there's a time and place for the hair pulling, the choking, the slapping. That's could be
not if you live in England. Then
not in England, but I mean there's a time and place for everything.
Well,
no, but it's like when they talk about the sexual fantasies, like for women, I haven't done the studies, but very common fantasy is rape, R-A-P-E. Doesn't mean that you want it, but like your fantasies or maybe what you want to see in porn is maybe not, but to get off, I want to see it. Doesn't mean that that's what I want to happen in real life.
Well, one of the great, okay, so this is me talking. This is not the Red Pill talking. This is Rollo Tomasi saying this. Okay. I think one of the greatest things that has happened, I think, in the last, 20 years, if a good thing has come out of this sort of mass production, like this ubiquitousness of pornography, is that Pornhub keeps tabs and keeps track of the sexual appetites and the sexual behaviors of all of its users. If you go on Pornhub and you search for something, it gets logged. And so every year, not on Pornhub itself, but on the blog that they have, like the research blog for Pornhub, they will give you all the stats of what, what's trending, what niche, what are people searching, and they'll do it by state. Like if you're in Nevada, it'll show you like what you're searching for in that particular state. Then it's country by country, and then they break it down by demographics of age, the time that people are watching. Then it's men and women, and at least in the United States, it's something like 38 or 39% of their traffic comes from women in the United States. In the only place that is more than men is the Philippines, and it is 64% versus whatever. More women in the Philippines watch Pornhub than men do. So when you see these kinds I think one of if something good comes out of this, at least we have the stats to say, well, here's what's going on. Here's what we're tracking. Never in the history of humanity have we been able to, with at least some quantitative, research methods, to figure out exactly what people are actually into, and then track it year by year by year.
Absolutely. That doctor you're referring to, what was she a doctor, like a psychiatrist?
She's a doctor of psychology from York University.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess where that comes into my brain is that when you talk about something as simple as, like, say the act of choking, for example, right? We're not restricting airflow. We are cutting off the blood circulation. Yeah. Exactly. So there's going to be that heady, like, arousal feeling. This is scientific to this point. This has nothing to do with like, a crazy fantasy of like CNC, anything like that. So that just kind of could lead into it. It's curious to me that people could become so defensive over things that scientifically it makes sense as to why arousal would occur.
Well, I think one of the reasons why it gets sort of like, and this is just one example of many, but like one of the reasons why there's always this sort of deference back to like, well, it's because men watch porn and men want to see women get choked, and so therefore the women go, okay, choke me. Like that's not what is happening.
That wasn't even introduced to me in my entire life except by a woman. I can't even. This is ridiculous. Like I don't care. The idea was like, oh man, this sex was great. It'd be great me putting my hand on her neck. Like never even occurred to me. It was a woman who asked me. I don't understand this concept, and I don't understand why we're not. The idea of choking is mostly a female issue. It's not a male issue. I don't grasp it.
No, but also it's interesting because they track this stuff on Pornhub. Like a lot of times people bring up like the violence in porn, or like the hardcore being slapped, spit on, choked. It looks rough or something. But then you look, but look at the numbers. It's girl, it's MILF, stepmom. It's got nothing to do, but they always want to bring up that little thing. It's like, well, what about this? Did you really enjoy what about? I'm like, fuck yeah. Like I asked for it.
They called it.
This is illegal somewhere. Wait, UK. Wait, where?
No, in the UK, on their pornographic websites, they cannot show choking.
So, but wait, Sweden forbid OnlyFans because they consider it's close to prostitution. That's somebody that says that I want you to do this and this for me in a custom video. it's basically like me telling you what to do. So you can access OnlyFans.
I'm sure if they were taking a cut on your taxes, they would totally be okay with it.
It's really strange that the probably next to Norway, the most egalitarian nation on planet Earth, got rid of OnlyFans. That's really strange to me.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
There we go. This one, you got this one?
This is part of that choking thing. It's like we found that 18.3% of participants had been choked by a partner and 16.0% had been choked by a partner at their most recent sexual event. Most participants, 92.7%, reported that being choked had been consensual, and 69% had wanted to be choked, quote unquote, very much. We've found high levels of pleasurable sensations, euphoria reported. The most responses were being choked felt pleasurable sensations, yada yada. And then there's I'll just paraphrase it here, that it's women are the ones that are initiating.
Did you enjoy being choked?
Yeah, they will.
Very much.
Very much.
Hey, what do you?
Yes.
Hey, do you want me to sit there and spit on you? Very much.
Yes. Oh boy.
Hilarious.
Okay, we'll finish with that one.
This is the last one, guys.
Here we go.
Let's talk about your relationship.
Yeah, I've been with Chuck for about 3 years now. Really nice guy. So kind.
We love Chuck. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy right before him used to tear me up, though. Amateur pimp, fresh out of prison, really bad guy. Used to put cameras in my house, film me without my consent. Still kept seeing him, though.
Sometimes you just literally need the chaos.
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for the nice guy Chuck, who I'm dating now and will definitely see this interview. I remember when we first started dating, he bought me a trip to Aspen.
Love it.
I did miss the flight because I ended up sucking off the fry cook at Bob Evans. And I remember that night as he was hanging me over the balcony demanding I transfer money into his friend's commissary, thinking to myself, should I have just gone to Aspen?
You weren't ready for the nice guy yet.
Guess I just wasn't done pursuing the bad boys, like Devin, for example.
Devin.
Really bad guy. Used to put down cats.
A veterinarian.
Recreationally, no formal training. Used to strangle them with his bare hands while he yelled obscenities at strangers on the street corner, chop them up after.
Aggressive.
Used to call me collect, let me know he wants to come over, and I'd have to cancel with Chuck. And I would just ignore Chuck's calls as Devin would weigh out drug portions in my living room for weeks at a time with some of his unhoused associates and have sex with me as he pleased.
Still not ready for the nice guy, Chuck.
He's so nice.
He sounds like the nicest guy.
Even then, Chuck would come over after and help me clean the cat entrails off the sofa and bed sheets.
And that's when you realized you were ready for the nice guy.
Still no, there was the married guy who wore a disguise on dates, the man who emptied out my mom's pension,
Oh.
Chuck's unemployed brother, a couple conjugal visits with Jared Fogle. But I do remember leaving the abortion clinic one morning, catching my reflection in the mirror, seeing my black eye and thinking, what was that nice guy's name again?
Chuck.
No, I was thinking of my tantric yoga instructor, but after he turned out to also be a not nice guy who demanded nudes from all my friends, I thought to myself, what was that other nice, what's his name?
The world needs more Chucks.
Thank you. I don't have to say anything else.
Close,
I don't even think that was a parody. I think that's called
Pretty
reality.
much.
In reality. I'm sorry, man. I remember the first 3 or 4 years of me doing this show. I kept explaining to guys, no, women do not want the things that women are claiming they want in a relationship. They don't actually want. I remember I had Marie Chevalier, Maria Elizabeth Chevalier. She's on the show, and I asked her, I was like, hey, what kind of guy do you like? And she goes, I want a guy who's just obsessed with me, stalks me, super fucking nice. And they said, well, tell me about your exes. Well, they're all narcissists. And I was like, thank you.
And they choked me.
So guys, in general, I don't mean to be sexist. So I'm going to say this both ways. In general, stop listening to people's words and only pay attention to their actions. Men vote with their wallet. Women vote with their vagina. Just pay attention to what people do and stop listening to what they say.
Last super chat here. Thanks, guys, for discussing this important topic of women being the ones seeking danger, whereas men just want peace and to be treated with kindness. Yeah.
Incredible. Puma, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, when are you going to start your own podcast? I'm excited.
Yeah, now that you're in
People keep
Vegas,
asking about it.
you should go on Monica Almaguer.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Marriage with Monica.
Just-
I'll set you up.
Yeah. Did you have a good time, Stephanie?
Great time. Thank you for having
Awesome.
me.
Thank you for coming. Harper, did you have a good time?
I had a grand time. I'm disappointed I wasn't here the entire time. I feel like I have so much
I'm disappointed
To
too.
give.
No.
I want to. Do you guys want to do a
We can do an
podcast? We'll just
after
get up.
hours.
We'll
Yeah.
get me and him will get up, and you guys just
Yeah,
take
we'll
this
let
spot
you
right
guys
here.
rock and roll.
And you just do a
Take over
podcast called
and go.
Let's Touch Each Other podcast. That's what we'll call it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for checking us out. For those of you who are still watching, make sure you come to. If you guys are in Miami, we will be at Strawberry Moon at the Good Times Hotel
May 16th.
on the May 16th for the Babes in Toyland White Party. The benefits, the proceeds go to benefit Hounds and Heroes. They are training service animals for disabled veterans. If you guys want to come check that out, there's also a Nalu Bay swimwear swim show that I'm going to be hosting. If you want to come check that out, I'm going to be doing, we're doing all the podcasts. Brandon Carter, 305, doing Danza Project. Fresh and Fit. We're not sure what day we're going to do that. All these podcasts that we're going to be doing while we're in town,
making the rounds.
they'll be making the rounds. May or may not be on a live stream with 1 or 2 Miami streamers, and then of course, obviously, just want to hang out with my best friend Zerka.
Oh yeah,
when I go down there.
And Justin Waller, the sexiest man alive. He'll be there.
Yeah,
too.
we'll probably see Justin Waller at some point too. So make sure you guys check us out all next week. We're going to do our next show on the 20th. You have somebody coming on the 20th. We
do. Yeah, I got to make that announcement too. Okay, so here's the deal, and Harper probably should listen to this as well. We have ABC Australia is coming in on May 20th. And it's going to be something similar to what happened with us when we had the CBS film crew that were in here. They're doing, it's like for a documentary series. I think they're doing something that's similar to the Manosphere kind of thing. What was the guy's name?
I love it when people talk to me with their Australian accent.
Yeah. Well, we should get Sterling Cooper to come in, and then you have to back us up.
It's just fun. I love it. It gives me life.
What is this dude's name? Oh, here it is. His name is Mark Fennell. That's the dude that is the host of the series that I don't know exactly what else he does, but he'll be here. Maybe
he grills prawns on the Barbie, right?
Well, speaking of Barbie, we're going to meet him for lunch at Roll and Smoke.
No way.
Yeah, so we can hang out with them. So if you, ladies, if you are, hopefully we'll have 14 chicks on the next one, but they will. If you're going to be on next week's show, just know that we're going to have a film crew here, and they might want to talk to you. So, and it'll be a national, well, at least an Australian national.
Are you telling me to dress more professional, Rollo? Is that what this is?
No, I want this
I know,
right here. That's what I want.
But,
Yes.
they're comfy.
Yeah. But anyways, so that's coming up on the 20th. We'll see what happens. They're going to interview both of us. We're going to, I'll have Mark Fennell sit here as a guest if he wants to. So
June 3rd, Babes in Toyland in Los Angeles for LA Swim Week. Again, Nalu Bay Swim Show. August 6th.
Is that Mondrian or is that at Mondrian?
I believe so.
Okay.
August 6th. Vegas Swim Week, Babes in Toyland is going to be here in Las Vegas. I believe it's at Sahara. We don't know exactly for sure yet. And also the 3rd week of October is going to be Swimsuit USA's World Championship. I think it's really strange for some of you guys to sit there and listen to Manosphere content from a guy who hosts bikini competitions.
Yes.
I'm sure you all are super confused.
Strange, yes.
I
never see these guys with girls.
These guys are never with girls. None of them are married, and none of them actually know any fucking girls.
And the moment you post all the pictures from like the white party, they're like, "Who are these guys flexing all the time?"
Yeah, they must have paid all those women to be there.
Exactly.
Nah, bro. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say is for this week, for next week, my Reignite program guys are gonna be out there. We'll be there from the 15th all the way through the 17th. If you missed out on the deep sea fishing trip, you missed out because we're gonna go out there on the 14th, and that's gonna be a good time. I didn't get an invite. Did you want to go?
I'm very disappointed. You want to fish? I would love to deep sea fish.
Really?
I'm a fisher.
Oh, shit.
Bro, how do we not know this about each other?
Okay, well then you got to come out with me next time.
Let's catch a shark.
I got pictures to show you. I
already caught one. Apparently,
I have unsexy pictures of my fishing that everybody tells me not to post, but I'm going to post anyways. And then we'll also be doing Reignite once again out at the August 6th Babes in Toyland for Swim Week once again. So if you missed this one, we've got something coming up in August. So watch for it. Oh, and then all of those links are down in the description.
Beautiful, man. We will see you guys on the 20th. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, Access Vegas, Rollo's channel, our X or Twitter. For some reason, I'm blowing up on Twitter. All I have to do is just post the most heinous shit I can think of, and I get like 6,000 likes.
I've figured out the algorithm on Twitter now.
I'm going to catch Rollo here on Twitter pretty soon.
My last article is almost viral. It's like a 600, 700,000 range.
It's crazy. All right, guys. Thank you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube channels.
Yes,
and
subscribe to all of them.
Share with your friends, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Tell that bitch to be cool.
I'm a whore. God wants you to have the baby.
Definitely not.
No,
I'm
wanted to win.
fucking money. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm a radical come to dinner with you, but I'm not.
Do you do it on Zoom or Skype?
No, but Skype.